fact.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the Jason Ellis Show, where we're, we're a show, then we were not a show, or now we're a show again. But we don't even know that because we're not even officially a show. No one showed me yet. So as far as I know, this is like in a vortex. This is like a bad trip. Could be a good trip, but it's definitely not for all of you. It's just inside my little mind, as far as I can tell. But look, people are here.
We're just four guys hanging out at a table in a basement having a normal human conversation.
Can we not do the basement thing? Like, I really get, because people get murdered in there. They get like blocked and jerked off on. That's not what's happening here.
Yeah.
You know, like we're totally, we ask for permission.
We're in a subterranean studio.
Yeah. We're in what?
I don't know.
No, that sounded good. Do that again. What?
That's a fancy word for underground, right?
Say it.
Subterranean.
Ooh, yeah, no, it's a subterranean studio. It's not a basement.
That sounds like the extra creepy room that's under the basement.
Oh, man.
It does sound like that's where the hostile guys go to take you to the Ukrainian.
Man, I don't
dudes
wanna-
No,
fuck you
guys,
up.
it's not a basement. It's more of a crawl space.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the Crawl Space
Hell yeah.
Studios?
No, that's not creepy at all.
No. Well,
Nothing bad happens in a crawl
there's a
space.
certain level of creep, Michael, where all of a sudden I want to be on the team. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's
why
like
don't you
little
lean
creep,
into it
little
then?
creep. I'm like, nah. Full-blown creep?
Yeah.
That's my fucking compadres. I'm
go.
down to that.
Just
Going
lean into it
full-blown
then. This
John
is-
Wayne Gacy.
Yeah,
Like
this
when
is the
anybody
murder.
ever on Grindr says they want to pee or do stuff like that, I can't not talk to them. I want to know about their lives. I'm not going anywhere near them to get peed on, but I definitely want to know, like, do you have it? What is that?
Yeah, I agree.
What kind of job do you have? Do you sanitize? Like, when you eat, do you, like, do it off the floor or do you use plates?
I'm always curious about the origins. Like,
Origins.
of like a fetish like that. Like, why do you like piss?
Oh, I know why. Because it comes out of a penis. And you really like penises.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, the extension of that.
Yeah, but jizz comes out of a penis, and I get that. If
and
you're
they
a gay
love
guy
jizz.
or a straight girl, you love jizz. Piss is waste. Like there's a tweak there. You know, like there's something.
Yeah, it has to be because, you can enjoy somebody's, delicious booty walking down the street, but it never extends to, boy, just imagine the turds that come out of that thing.
Dude,
For most of us, it has to be a bit naughty. That's the thing
Yes,
you have
that's
to
what
like
it is.
about
Okay.
it.
Something. I'm with Kevin.
It's
Something
sexy,
happened.
sexy
Yeah,
and
I
naughty.
did weird piss stuff when I was a kid, but it never, blossomed into a fetish or anything.
Go ahead.
Explain.
What weird piss stuff did you do when you were a kid?
Oh, well, this isn't anything new, but maybe it'll catch people, like new listeners to the show, up to speed. I used to I thought water being in a container made it a toilet.
Tommy's face.
So
Just waiting for your release of stupid. Like, no, sorry, I can't even.
How old were you?
What'd you do?
I was like 4 or 5, maybe around
okay.
there.
All right.
And what'd you do?
I thought like putting water in a container made it a toilet. So like there's this room that has this white bowl filled with water, and I'm supposed to piss in that thing. So I was like, if I just fill this coffee mug with water, that's a toilet. So I used to have my friends come over, and I would put water in a mug, and I'd be like, piss in that. And my friend pissed in a coffee mug.
Wait, how long were you guys alone with each other?
I mean,
I just feel like 5-year-olds shouldn't be alone long enough to get their pants down to piss in a
cups.
bottle.
Yeah.
Especially one of them's a twisted
Yeah,
piss master.
you sick fuck.
Brutal piss
You
master.
fucking weird ass fucking golden shower 5-year-old freak.
no, I thought I was like being innovative.
Yeah, you are in the sex world.
Yeah.
But it never turned into a sex thing. I never got into piss.
It almost is. You realize that you guys were all gathering around with your pants down, pissing into a bucket.
It was never a group thing. It was like,
I thought you said it was you and a friend.
yeah, a friend. It wasn't
Okay,
like
so that's-
multiple people.
Dude, leave him alone with
That's
the mug?
multiple people.
No, I watched. I didn't see his
Right,
dick.
you didn't
You
pick-
commanded people to piss and stuff.
Yeah. And then and then you watched.
I was a piss commander. But it wasn't, I didn't like,
I think that might be your new name.
it wasn't like a drug test where I'm like face to face with his pissing dick. It was like, hey, isn't this cool? I made a toilet. Like, try it out. Like, I was like proud of it. Like, please.
No, I
take
see
advantage of my work.
your innocent angle on this, but I'm just trying to bring to you. Do you understand the level of like sex rape that you're involved in right now? Like you got a guy to take his pants down, a young guy. You're lucky you were 5'2", because otherwise I'd be very angry at you right now.
Oh, yeah. If you did that last week, I'd be really upset.
This was
We would
stupidity.
probably end the show right
He's
now.
actually old enough now among consenting adults. If you want to pee in coffee mugs together, have at it.
Well, we pissed more than coffee
No,
mugs.
if you and your other What's your podcast called? I don't want to say it wrong.
Mad Scientist Party Hour.
Yes, the Mad Scientist Party Hour. If you and those guys piss in a bucket together,
Yeah.
and it's your idea, do you think that that's cool?
Well, my one buddy did lose a bet, and since like
Nothing's
COVID
changed.
time hit, like
Yes.
he hasn't been able to pay off on it. But the next time we're in a room together, he has to piss in a bong and then do a bong hit through it.
Oh, that's really gross.
Yeah.
Good for you. And you're 35, right?
38.
Wow.
I'm totally okay with
He's middle-aged.
other consenting adults.
That might be the craziest thing I've heard a guy of your age come up with. Like, is he the same age as you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are. That's like
Honestly, I would hold on to
borderline
that
loser
tape
shit.
too.
That's
I would
insane.
hold on to that tape when you do it because there's a very good chance that ends up in
he's vomiting.
Jackass 4.
He's vomiting.
That's a great idea.
The vapors of that is insane. As a guy that's had to drink his own urine a few times,
Yeah.
hot urine, fog of the urine, you know what I mean? Like bubbled, smoked urine.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it really largely depends on who did the piss to them. Yeah,
It's his own piss. It's chill.
Okay.
If you took
Okay.
my piss right now and did it, you honestly probably wouldn't even notice the difference.
Is that because you drank a lot of water and you're doing
Exact-
a water
and
piss?
I
Okay,
eat
because
so
that's the
clean
difference.
and-
Because I'm going to bring my wife into this
Yeah.
for a second because I learnt that if you're not really hydrated, don't piss in people's mouths because it's too much. If you're dehydrated, you're kind of grossing people out. And she taught me that. But she also told me that her boyfriend, I don't know if it was the one before me, but one or two, but he came from getting pissed on. No hands.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's got a better origin story.
Katie,
than
I don't know if this microphone works. Can you test it?
Testes.
Yeah, okay. Speak a bit louder. But you had a boyfriend that you would go into the bathtub with, correct?
Yeah. He would come. I mean, he would do a couple strokes, but it was so hot, for me to piss on him that it would make him come.
I'm almost jealous. Like I wish
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's all it took for me. Like I could no hand come from pee.
Oh, because it's so hard for you to come otherwise.
You know,
No, but that sounds pretty like relaxing. Like I don't even have to just instant come. Like kick back.
Especially
get
with like
pissed on.
warm liquid going on you, you're like, yes. And then you arrive with
you know,
love.
Yeah.
Charlemagne can't come unless he's on his knees too.
Charlemagne the God?
Charlemagne the God, yeah.
Yeah, not the French emperor.
Sorry. I don't even know how they got that name. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right. It's
You
kind
are,
of like
you are.
Liberace.
Yeah.
When I admitted that I have to kneel down when I masturbate, like tons of people reached out to me on social media and said they're the same way.
Yeah. Well, I don't listen to all of those people. Never got to me, but Charlemagne the God does it, so that you're not. Yeah, he's doing great.
Yeah. It's a good sign for us.
That's got to just be that you do it so often that when you're young, because that's like the place you can get away with it in the bathroom or something, that you just get stuck in that mode, right?
I'm the same way.
That's not a fetish.
I don't think I could beat off kneeling or sitting or lying down because I've only done it standing up.
To slow down my jizz, I take if I step 1 foot back from the other, so I go into like a skateboard stance while I'm pumping, then I can get a hold of my jizz sometimes. Like if it's somebody where I'm like, goddamn, this thing's tight. I'm not gonna last as long. I don't have a grip on it like I usually do.
Yeah.
I'll put my back foot behind me a little bit, and that's sort of like, and I think it comes down to if I can't come and it's really hard to, I will get on my knees and I try to split my legs as far as they can.
Oh, like a power
My
slide.
favorite thing to do would be I put my feet, because my ankles are so blown out from skateboarding, I put my feet in the back of the cushions of the couch. So I get on my knees and my feet fit in the back of the cushion so I don't flatten my feet out too much. And then I get on my knees and do the splits kind of thing while I'm getting the blowjob. That's like the cocaine or like, like too much kratom or something like that. Like I got to get into that position. Every time and this is, I don't know how, I haven't done it that often ever since I got that MCL surgery. I have figured out ways to not do that anymore because it's still, for me to lean back in a full knee split, I don't trust my MCL. It's too much strain. So I've left that for now.
You never got
But
a Charlie horse in the crust
So
of your
that's what I was
foot?
going to say. I would, if it took a long time, which often it did because that's why I got in that position in the first place. By the time I would get out of the couch, Katie can vouch for it, my feet, because they'd been flat and I'd been leaning back on them because I'm just like arched. By the time I'm coming, I'm so fucking arched and my feet are so far behind me. When I get out, my knees and my ankles won't move. Like they won't straighten. Like I'll get out and I'll be like, and then like this won't come back to there. Like it's just like, it's all locked up because I've been squashing the blood out of it because my mind has switched off from the blood flowing into my ankle area.
Get your full shrimping.
But that's the opposite of, to me, yes, it is. So if I'm pumping and I put my foot back like that, it stops this split feeling.
It's like Taekwondo pork.
It's kind of like thinking about, you know what I mean, hideous stuff or something. Like if I put that foot back, it's less of an open leg area and it stops me from jizzing.
I don't recommend that. That was like the go-to of like thinking about something that turns you off.
Hideous stuff.
I just think
to me, it's just counting.
Math.
If you count and watch that you count, don't go 8, 75, 20. Like if you do 1, 2, 3, and you know that works too.
My solution is always just come.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm going to come too quickly, I just come and then continue going like for round 2. Because then round 2 is always, I feel like a champion, because I'm desensitized.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it unless you have knowledge that you're capable of pulling that off. I'm very lucky.
And for the rest of us, I don't count multiplication, high-level multiplication. Like if you try to figure out 87 times 13.
Wow. Yeah, I'll never do that.
Just try.
So you just instantly confuse yourself?
It goes
I can kind of sort of do it. If I think about it long enough, I can figure out the answer. But by then, I've pretty much lost my erection. So
marriage works. Marriage works too, as far as like delaying your ejaculation. You get really comfortable with someone. It tends to help.
Really?
I'm still. In fact, I'm being honest. I told my wife I'm probably more attracted to her now than I was even when we first started dating. But having sex with someone a lot makes it a lot easier to control your ability to, you know what I'm saying? Like when it's new, there's an animal thing where it's a lot more kind of.
Oh, when it's the first time. It's like the first weekend with somebody, of course.
I think you think that because you've only had sex with one person for a long time.
That's true.
As a person that has sex with a bunch of people, it's just their fucking hole. It's what it is. It is because I'm excited to sleep with new people. If I sleep with someone who I'm like, wow, she's super hot and it's happening, oh, fucking hell yeah. And if I'm in control, then that's like, to me, I call it compatible.
Yeah.
Because to me, my wife and I, when we first met, I feel like I could go for days and I was making her come all the time. And I was like, this is a great fit for me because I feel good. I'm sure she got off. So every time we do it, I feel accomplished. Everybody's happy. I feel like if we were jobless, we do well in porn. We're doing great stuff on the field. And now, man, it's 80% of the time I come too quick. I don't know what the fuck happened, but she's fucking with me.
She has the compatible.
Fucking bums me out, man. I can tell. I'm like, okay, well, there's me.
Mike Catherwood, what's your average? Because I know.
Notice how there's no rebuttal there.
Yeah. No,
it's happening.
You laid it down. Yeah.
It's happening. Mm-hmm. I'm a fucking. God, I hate that I do it on this show. Now, what am I? Look, what is it called?
Premature
ejaculator. Yeah.
Hey, buddy, it happens to all of us sometimes.
Honestly, for a long-term relationship, I think that's healthy. Like if
that's a good sign.
If you're still in that mode where you're that excited to be with a woman after,
if she takes her pants down around me, I want to fuck all day.
Yeah,
like if she makes one fucking.
Katie takes her pants down around me, I want
one titty joke, one anus or pussy joke, and I'm like, just all day. Gotta do it.
And anus walks into a bar.
There's Jason. Yeah. That's it.
Mike, you've said many times that you're a premature ejaculator. You come pretty quick a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. What would you say your average is?
Now or when I was having serious problems with it? Oh, now?
Like if you hit 15 minutes, do you feel like a champ? Or is that the average?
But now I'm there.
Okay.
Because my wife and I have gotten to the point where it's not even just the like the animal visceral thing where it's like I'm still attracted and all that. I'm so emotionally and psychologically comfortable with my wife. Like it's just different. So it's not even really a problem. But let's say 10 years ago, my average was like, I'm not exaggerating. My average was like 2 minutes, minute and a half, maybe. but my average was also like consistently was like round 2, no problem. Like immediate blow load, like.
And round 2 was also 90 seconds?
No. Round 2 was as long as I wanted it to go. Oftentimes I wouldn't even come. continue to as long as the woman is.
I accidentally caught it at one time. It took 7 minutes, and that's my thing now. Where I'll be like, "Hey, you looking for 7 minutes of hot action?"
Yeah.
That's how I hit on her sometimes because I shoot myself down before it starts. Because if it's a 15-minute one, well, then I did better than I promised.
I found though also for the most part, and I don't want to speak for ladies, but if you provide adequate or oral and stuff like that, you don't need a marathon session. In fact, most women probably wouldn't want that. Like too much is way worse than a little bit less. You know what I'm saying? As long as you get the job done with the oral, which is something I'm a big fan of, then it doesn't like 2 minutes is oftentimes perfectly fine. You know.
I'm glad you feel that way, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I could be totally wrong. You know. I know that it's so not true for gay men, at least my friends. They definitely want the fucking all night action.
You want me to go down that road as well?
Oh, sure. Feel free. I mean,
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you said that like women don't necessarily want that much vaginal sex, and I'm assuming that means because at a certain point their vagina is like, thank you, my vagina is satisfied.
Yeah.
What you're implying is that butts would have a greater hunger for dicks than vaginas.
No,
I think it's male psyche has a greater appetite than butts. It's just guys are guys.
It's two different. There's. I mean, that's why partying is such a big thing in the gay community because the meth thing, it makes it easier for you to stay in the game longer. So yeah, there's like long people want to do it for long periods of time. People that want to do it usually for hours have taken some meth.
Yeah.
Right.
So they kind of don't exist to me anymore because I've noticed that seems to be a thing in the community, but that's also there's a lot of people in the community don't do fucking crystal meth. And, you know, when they fuck similar amounts. I would say odds are guys that find guys, their sex drive is usually, not all the time, but usually higher than girls. Mm-hmm. So when two girls meet each other and they're lesbians and they go with each other, not all the time, but sometimes they might just have normal sex drive for a woman, which would be way less than what a man's sex drive would be. Mm. So when a man hooks up with another man, they probably want to do it a lot more to the point where a lot of guys will have relationships where they're like, look, I'm busy, I'm working, you're working. Every now and then if someone else wants to break me off a piece, there's no harm in that because we're both very horny. You both understand that my genitals are screaming for fucking all the time. And,
right.
And because you're both dudes, you're like, well, yeah.
Right.
And you also know that there's nothing personal in it. Like to me, Katie's, if I'm with a guy, there's less of a discussion than when it's with a girl. Like if it's a girl, she needs to know everything about her. What the fuck? And they don't get like they don't get as much respect as like I could go to dinner with a guy. She wouldn't think twice about it. But with a girl, we're going to meet and we're going to screw around and then you're going to leave.
Yeah. Because
you need to know that this is not a relationship.
That sounds great.
Check you out. But it doesn't, that doesn't help. Not a lot of girls want to be involved in that.
No, I agree. It's like I have to back up a little bit because a lot of the ideas that I've developed about gay men were from 10, 15 years ago when all my gay friends were fucking smoking lots of crystal meth.
Right.
You know, so I could
it's hard not to, man.
Right.
When you have sex and then you do, it's the same as the poppers and the meth. Like all the sex that I've had in my life and orgasms and all this other stupid shit. I don't even hate to say because I don't care. I've also done giant skateboard airs that felt better than anything, and I know that they're not coming again. Mm. Guess what? Neither is taking a giant rip of meth and having sex with somebody who is just obsessed with your crutch, and you're fucking doing a hit of poppers, and you stay in the pocket of almost coming. You know, that's why a lot of gay guys have a longer. I'm gonna, and I'll back off and edge it. So they just edge each other. And that popper thing brings on such a crazy. I shouldn't endorse it because it's not good for you doing it. Like I don't think it fries your brain cells. You're popping shit in there. It's goddamn record player cleaner or something. But when you do it and you have the right stuff, because there's different qualities of it as well. I hate that I know this much about it, but I've got one that's the best one.
You're a popper connoisseur. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. Because now I don't do meth or anything. But if I can get a blowjob and hit a poppers before I jizz, this is so gross. I'm sorry, everybody. It's hard to match it's really hard to match in the orgasms of your life. So when I know I have that, like, it's in my fridge. I don't use it all the time, but it's hard not to when you know you have. Do you want to get like 40% more out of your orgasm tonight?
Yeah.
Take a sniff of this.
Yeah.
Like right when you're in the middle of it, give some to her, give some to you, and watch what happens. What's your, like, it's almost like is it inhibitions? Inhibitions. Leave. Like what you think you look like, or it's funny because I don't think I care what I look like when I'm fucking, but when I sniff this thing, I care way less about everything and care way more about the fucking. Like, I get really into it.
I don't know necessarily.
I don't know who figured that out, but it's a good idea.
If I have any like real problems with getting away from the euphoria of sex itself when I was on drugs, but I will tell you very honestly, I have a real problem still to this day. It's better now than ever before. But there was a very short time in my life where I was with a girl who I was very, very attracted to, who was also a drug addict. And that world, like my life at that point was fucking it was euphoria. She loved smoking rocks. I loved smoking rocks. She was attracted to me. I was really attracted to her. She loved to fuck. My life was
That's everything.
It was so good. And my artificial feelings of closeness to her were so high that when I got sober, like I've always had trouble replicating it with something actually healthy with a girl.
Yeah.
You know, and it's been problematic. I certainly have found sexual pleasure away from drugs. I don't feel like if I could just take a line right now and blow a load. What I do have a hard time getting away from is that really distorted feeling of closeness where it's like chopping it up, boom, boom, fuck, like lie there naked, smoke, pass it back, maybe have another session. It was like some weird paradise, you know?
Yeah, I think most people though do have that experience of the person that they knew was wrong for them was still really, really fun.
Yeah.
And it occupies a special place in like your spank bank.
Yeah. I think especially
crack or no crack,
especially guys, right? Like the fucking bonkers chick, like even in the moment, you know, like this is really toxic, but fuck, this is my animal side cannot get away from.
When you're going home with somebody and your friends are openly laughing at you as you're leaving the bar.
I've
Those
done
are some of the best times of my life.
You just triggered so many stories in my mind right there. Like,
that's so great.
Colin McKay just started laughing at me at the Hard Rock, just pointing at me and screaming from across the Circle Bar at me. And then he saw me go into the elevator and started screaming at me again. Because this girl, it was funny. She had barbed wire tattooed down the back of her legs, which is funny because Katie has the only other person I've seen that had a line tattooed from their ass all the way down.
She has like the garter looking thing, right?
It's a lot more. Yeah, but back then it was this chick had some tattoos where it was very apparent that she was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And she was not that hot, but super hoary, like short, spiked blonde hair, just piercings and shit, like just a fucking idiot maniac. Punk shit all over her, just, I don't know. It's tough. I don't read it well. Like, I think Katie would have known what kind of demographic she really is, but to me, it was just like, this is a fucking mess. Yeah. And this is back when, I was
when you
shaping.
Meant that as a compliment.
Yeah, and I was shaping, I'd get a lot of cocaine and I'd draw pictures with it before I'd blow it. Like, this is back when I had I heard it in a song, so I had a fucking 8-ball in a do-rag underneath my seat in my 745 IL because I was under the impression that was some hard shit. I couldn't get a gun. I was too Australian. I would have got one. I totally wanted one.
Don't you ever think about how much 48-year-old Jason would want to beat the shit out of 22-year-old Jason? Because I do.
No.
I think about like if I just in some weird sci-fi world was introduced to 19-year-old me, I'd be like, this guy fucking sucks. Like, what a douchebag, you know?
Yeah, I did an interview the other day where someone asked me, like, what would young Jason think of old Jason? Like with the golf car, that's what it was, with the golf car. And I always tried to keep it real, like thought I was trying to keep it real at least.
Yeah.
But I thought I was on the cutting edge of keeping it real. Like, I'd be like, fuck that. That's definitely fucking bad for my life. I keep it real. But stop, Jim. What was I saying?
When you did the interview.
Oh, Yeah, like if young me saw old me, he'd be backing it 1,000% because everybody thought I was going to amount to nothing, and I'm like the douche car. It's a douche car. Like a golf cart is with rims on it. You're a fucking douche, but you're a successful douche.
And you don't.
So it doesn't.
You don't
So all I wanted was
care.
I just wanted to see Jason when he got older and not be a fucking loser like everyone said he was going to be. So for me, if I saw me driving by in a golf cart and someone was like, "Just so you know, that's you, 49," I'd be like, "Whoa, that's not his only car, is it?" And if they were like, "No, that's his fucking golf cart,"
He doesn't actually golf, does he?
yeah, I'd have a few questions first.
No, 19-year-old me.
But once they cleared it out that I just was mine for driving around the streets, I'd be like, "Fuck, I can't believe he did it."
19-year-old me would have no problem with 41-year-old me. 41-year-old me would have a big problem with 19-year-old me.
Oh, okay. So now you're going back. See, I can't. I guess if I could talk to me younger, I'd be like, "Hey, man, like, fuck, I know you love the drugs and shit, but phew, you could probably cut that out, and you'd probably be somewhere else." But I don't. I want to do everything in my life, and I kind of really liked doing a lot of drugs and being really out of it. It's weird to say that I don't regret it, but I don't.
Well,
Frankly-
all's well that ends well, right?
Yeah.
Well, you don't know. There might be
and
like
it's not
permanent
even-
damage from all that stuff. Maybe my heart problems come from me
Right.
being such a druggie in my younger days.
Where
I
you
don't
stand
know.
right now, all's well that ends
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Well, but I wouldn't even dislike the drug use about younger me, honestly, because I meet drug addicts.
Well,
all
then
the
what
time.
was it?
It was like I'd be like, God, this guy's trying so hard. Like, quit with the fucking cool guy facade. And
Oh
just,
man,
you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
going through that too because I found a huge stack of like old tapes, and I've just been going through them because I used to film like stunts with my buddies back in the day.
Some are
And-
very funny too.
We did do some funny stuff, but the words we said were never funny. Like the stuff that I'm going through because I'm watching hours and hours and hours of tapes trying to find good stuff to put up on Instagram and all that, and the conversations we're having and the jokes I'm trying to make. And like sometimes the clothes I'm wearing, I got like fucking Jack Sparrow bracelets going up my arm. It's so cringy. I'm so embarrassed. Like I turned beet red watching it, and I'm just alone in my living room. And I'm texting my friends who are around then, and I'm like, "Why were you guys friends with me? I was so fucking unfunny. I was so lame. I thought it was so cool. It's awful. I'm so ashamed of the way I acted."
I'm sure they suck just as bad as you did, right? You're not watching this saying, "Man,
Yeah,
my
I
friend- my
watched your
friends were on
videos.
fire."
Yeah, they were just as dumb as you in
Right,
those
sure.
videos.
They're doing-
Even dumber, really.
I mean, they're doing dumber stuff, but they weren't. I was trying
I
so
don't know,
Because
man.
fucking hard.
but also
That's-
you're legitimately funny. You're a funny, creative
You were
person.
trying.
I wasn't
dude.
back then.
Yeah, but you were trying. It's kind of like your first attempt at being an entertainer.
Yeah.
It's like this in a stand-up comedians, their first sets, like, were they good? Does Jerry Seinfeld say that he fucking got on stage and was immediately the greatest comic that ever lived? Can't believe I got that name out of my mouth fucking fast enough. But it's your starting kit.
Yeah.
You know, like my starting kit was skateboarding, and I've told you fucking too many times. When I started, I was the worst kid I knew in my world. I never saw another kid that had been skateboarding for as long as me and was as shit as I was. So now, people are like, "Whoa, you're the Jason Ellis from skateboarding." I beat almost every dude that ever lived at one point. So being shit at the start, it's kind of to be embarrassed at your shit. You said something that you should be proud of. You were going for it. You were trying. Maybe they weren't trying as much. You were. You should be proud of that.
I was. And I'm also very grateful that it never went anywhere. Like, I'm glad that
'Cause
endeavor.
everyone's not just posting that all the time.
Yeah, I'm glad
Even
that
though
was
you're reposting it right now.
I'm posting, like, the stunts and stuff we did were
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, you're saying there was conversation stuff that you want to keep off the internet.
Yeah, because it's. I've never seen somebody try so fucking hard to be cool in my life and miss the mark so bad.
I get
and
it.
It's. I don't know.
Somebody sent me a photo of my first photo I ever got in Transworld skateboarding. Lance Mountain took it when I was staying at his house, and I was 17, and it was legendary to me. I got a full page in Transworld, and somebody sent me that photo the other day. And usually when I see old photos, I'll repost them because it's cool. But I got fucking crazy acne, and I'm fucking doing this thing like this and making myself have chins and shit. I'm fucking really trying in this trick. And it just I look like shit. I'm not posting it.
Yeah.
But
we all have
it was
that,
the
right?
first photo I ever got in a skateboard magazine in America.
I remember the first time I saw Deer Dick before any of the like mainstream fame. I was reading Big Brother, and I used to love Big Brother so much. And I would like fucking count the days so I could get my hands on an issue. I remember there was a picture, I might have been on the cover of Deer Dick, like standing. He was doing like a 50-50 or something, but he had his Benzes parked behind him and he had like all his gold chains. I'm like, fuck this guy, you know? But then you realize you're like, oh, it's a person, and he was young and obviously trying to look cool, you know? But also I was in the 90s, there was this weird thing, especially in LA. I don't know what it was like around the country, but there was like, you either were Hesh or you were Fresh. You were either like the grungy hip hop dirty guy, or excuse me, the grungy hip hop rock guy, or you were like hip hop gold chain, like spiffy Hilfiger guy. I definitely fell into the more like trying to be grungy, even though I was like a normal suburbanite kid. So all the guys who were doing the like perfectly pristine style, I was like, oh, fuck that guy. Yeah.
I fucked up because I come from grunge, and then I got turned into the cutting edge of skateboarding in America and became super hip hop fresh.
Yeah, you had like an Ollie G phase, right?
Yeah, so then I got a total. Dude, I had FUBU on. But at one point I bought, like I would buy Timberlands and buy like Timberland shirts and like brand new white tees from fucking Fred Siegel or something because Colin was doing it, even though Colin was making millions of dollars a year and I was like $100,000 a year, but you're still fucking a lot of money when you don't have no rent or anything. I mean, rent, but no real mortgage or anything. So Jamie Thomas pointed it out to me at a street demo. He's like, what's your deal? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you're like metal, but fresh, but you're like dirty and sweaty. It's like, which one are you?
You like invented new metal.
And I oh God, thanks, Michael. Man, I have never hated myself more than
you sound like every roadie for Limp Bizkit.
That's why Fred Durst and I had with Fred Durst. When I met Fred Durst, he was like, "Yeah, I used to do Madonnas and shit." Like he tried to like get skateboard approval from me, and I'm like, "Wait, you did a Madonna?" And he's like, "Yeah, man." I'm like, how did you go about doing this Madonna? Because I called bullshit. And then he fucking broke it down. I'm like, okay, this dude fucking skated vert. There was a few years where Fred Durst was trying to be a fucking vert skateboarder and make a living like I do. And I wanted to be a fucking dickhead with a red baseball cap on. So I was like, okay, it could work. I would have been in the pocket of metal. I like the new hip hop thing that's coming. I don't know how embarrassing that's going to be in the future. Yeah. I'll be a fucking, come on. Yeah. Like, I could have totally done it.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Right? That's what I'm saying. At the time.
Rage Against the Machine made it seem like
they made it seem so good. Yeah, you were like, man, we'll all be Rage Against the Machine.
And Faith No More, too. Like, it was cool. You know, there was like an alternative metal thing that was cool.
Faith No More did not. It's, yeah, okay. There was but it was like if you got rap because you had a funky bass player, you slid in a little more. If you were just like, no, just rap rock.
Yeah.
At rock, and we hired a rap guy. Or we didn't even hire a rap guy. Like when Anthrax just were like, fuck it, we're rapping. I was like, hey, man, I get it. It was funny. I thought it was funny, but man, it was hard for me to take him serious on that.
It's a weird thing. Like, I will stick up for Fred Durst a little bit because people.
I feel sorry for him.
People like to shit on Limp Bizkit,
which is so many great things.
People like to shit on Limp Bizkit, which is totally understandable. Like if you go back and you listen to some of those songs, it's pretty cringy.
But
not all of them.
Yeah.
But
what'd you say, Mark?
I said perhaps even all of them.
You can't deny.
Okay. You thought they had a hit?
I remember Raw Dog explaining one of the songs. I can't remember which one it was.
If I play the demo of Nookie.
No, it's not. Okay, you fucking assholes. I can't win if you're going to do that, then you're right. They're all terrible. But I swear he had one. Yeah. Because what's his name has a riff.
Sure.
What's his name? He has riffs.
Legit,
He's a very talented guy, too.
So there was one song where I think there was just enough, like just a little amount of Fred and enough of...
John Otto,
I was like, this song's a good
awesome
song.
drummer. John Otto's like a really solid drummer. Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've listened to it, probably 15 years, but I guarantee you if we listen to $3 Bill, y'all, in its entirety, there might be a song or two where you're like, not bad, guys.
What's that? What is that song?
That's a little bit later. What?
I'll just say that, like, you can't deny.
Come on. Like
the guy has a legit it factor.
Yeah.
You know, he did, even before he was famous, he had a thing. He has a charisma.
Was that Rollin' you were doing?
Yes, that's what it is. Rolling.
Song
I
you
don't
did
know,
with,
maybe that wasn't it.
Method Man. I like that.
That
Shut
was
the fuck up.
That was so bad, but it was catchy and good. The actual riff, the beat, it was
Yeah.
good.
The beat was good.
Method Man was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Method Man is good.
It seemed like
You
such
know,
a
Method Man
natural-
did that in a fucking bathroom, like into
Oh,
his
he didn't
phone.
even meet up with Fred.
He has no
He recorded it
recollection,
and sent it
yeah.
in. Yeah.
It just seemed like the natural thing that was supposed to happen next in music. It was a very
Yeah.
natural evolution. I remember
Yeah.
the first time. I remember there's very few bands I can say this about. Like I remember the first time I heard Nirvana. I remember the first time I heard Rage Against the Machine, and it's like one of those bands that makes everything that came before it sound a little bit older, a little bit dated.
Yeah.
It was obvious that like, oh yes, of course, this is what we're all gonna do now. It just turned out to like the first guy who fucking like. The Kinks like scratched their guitar speaker and all of a sudden had distortion for the first time and well, they didn't know there could have been fucking 3 riffs there. Turns out there was 3 million riffs there.
Yeah.
When somebody invented rap rock, they didn't know it was kind of a short cul-de-sac they were turning.
What was
down.
the thing where the metal bands and the rap guys got together and did songs? What was that whole album?
Judgment Night.
Yeah.
That
the
one
soundtrack.
threw people off too because fucking Be Real has a fucking thing where he can fit into rock and roll.
There's
Yeah.
3 or
Oh,
4
fuck yeah.
songs on Judgment Night that are fucking awesome.
Right.
There's 12
Infectious
songs.
Grooves or
There's
some
12
shit.
songs that are so bad.
Yeah.
It's it's hard to wrap your head around how people greenlit it. Like they're in the studio, like, yep, all right, sounds good.
No, it's when you get a bunch of people that don't want to offend a bunch of other people and they go, here's the song.
I remember the first time I heard The Chronic. Look at like what, 92, 93 or something.
Might have been 91.
And Dr. Dre's The Chronic, like this girl, Corinne Tang, she put it on and I was like, what? This is so much more enlightened than other hip hop I'd ever heard before. Like the beats and all that like P-Funk and stuff that he was sampling. It was so different. And I like Tully said, there's those things that you can recognize immediately. Like, well, this is new and fresh and I like it,
Real quick before we switch subjects, I do want to bring up our only sponsor before we have any sponsors, before we have a show that's out. Stay Classy Meats has decided to be in partnership with us, so we're very grateful. If you don't know about Stay Classy Meats, they bring quality meats with no hormones, no growth hormone antibiotics, none of that stuff. This is free range, grass fed, from top quality ranches. So if you want to live a healthier life and still have steaks and chicken sausages for breakfast, I'm sorry, but I cannot get it. I usually am a guy that's like, I want to have a chicken sausage, but I really just want bacon.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's better.
Sure.
These chicken sausages, I'm okay with not having some bacon. But Stay Classy Meats has bacon. So you can get that as well. They have all of it, and they can get it, and you get it delivered to your door. So it comes in a sweet, I would call it an esky, but you guys call it a cooler. So you get your own Stay Classy. Fuck you guys. I swear, there's certain things that I think make sense to me. Esky is a good name for it. It's like Eskimo, cold shit, cooler. I'm like, come on, man. You guys could have fucking dived in a little harder.
Is it a little bit politically incorrect though? Like,
Is it?
this is something.
Is it not cold where Eskimos live?
Wait, you're saying
point.
I'm coming at Eskimos incorrectly? This is a Stay Classy Meats commercial.
I'm sorry,
Catherwood.
and I'm a big fan.
And they love
Straight from
Eskimos.
Montana. Great meat. Great
It
meat.
is from Montana, Catherwood.
Yes.
So
I'm a
if
big fan.
you use a discount code Ellis, you will get yourself a fat discount on a bunch of top quality meats that will be delivered to your door. So you won't have to worry about going to the supermarket and picking stuff. And as a guy that's been using it, I just knew weightlifter MMA guys that know about Stay Classy Meats. It's all I eat. If I eat out, I eat vegetables because I know I've got the meat at home. It's just stupid because you say it's just way cheaper as well. So anyway, thanks to Stay Classy Meats. Appreciate the support, mates. Go
It
ahead,
has
Michael.
been a good long time since I'm assuming anybody here has been in a movie theater.
Yes.
I came very close. For like 3 days, Orange County, you were allowed to rent an entire movie theater.
To yourself.
Yeah.
You
For like
almost
$100.
rented it yourself?
My
Oh,
wife-
wait, for $100?
My wife was going to surprise us. She said she sent me a calendar update, and she said there's a surprise. Clear your calendar for this one day, and it's the day we got fired. And so before we got fired, the worst thing that
Yay.
happened that day was my wife said the family surprise is canceled.
It was the worst thing that had happened that
No
day.
way, we're not going to a movie.
Till somebody
and
called.
I lost my entire career. Aw, nuts.
right before Pearl Harbor, I stubbed my toe, and it was
Entire
terrible.
career is
It was
so
terrible
gnarly.
when I stubbed my toe, but then Pearl Harbor
When
happened.
somebody calls you and it ignites your entire career,
Yeah.
it's a shocker of a day. You're
God-
really hard to survive the rest of it knowing that you're not going to go to the movies as well.
I already didn't go to the movies. God damn it.
That's a top.
I don't usually get popcorn and chocolate, but I was going to treat myself this one time.
Wow, that is hard, Michael. I feel sorry for you. I
went
didn't
to
know
the
that you got both those the same day. I knew you got fired, but I didn't know that you'd lost that on the movie theater same day.
We've all got our crosses to bear.
I went to
Holy
the drive-in
shit.
this weekend.
Yeah, I've been to a couple drive-ins.
Well, go ahead, rub it in, job guy.
Took the money from my job and went to see a movie.
I'm not the job guy here either. You know, like
what do you mean? You got Mikey likes it.
yeah, I have podcasts, but I wouldn't say I'm just like you guys in that traditional radio has shunned me. You know, the same way you have.
Traditional radio.
Yeah, standard.
Do you want to be involved with traditional radio? Are they not all on their way to podcasting?
Yeah, they are.
I mean, if
but
Sirius XM's on its way out, I'm pretty sure terrestrial's on its way out.
Well,
considering
terrestrial's-
there's no antennas getting put in cars. soon.
terrestrial's on its way out for quicker than Sirius, but I don't creatively want to get back into that. I do think it's a failing business, but having a steady paycheck was always great.
Yeah.
You know, like that was fantastic.
Well, look, man. Who knows?
Who knows?
I have a studio, and for now, anyway.
Yeah.
And maybe everybody. I get called all day. Everybody wants to give me a job, and when it's me, it's us. Like they want to give us. Everybody wants the Jason Ellis Show under their umbrella.
As well, they
So
should.
that tells me, and look, if it works, and it's as big as it was on Sirius XM, I'm the boss. You don't get $500 an episode.
You are the
You
captain
get
now.
cut in.
Yes.
You know, and you're on and you're permanently on the show. Because I've always, I love you, dude. You're great on the show. We just don't, Sirius XM having a conversation with them about adding anybody. I'm just like, fuck. I was surprised they even did that. I was like, wow, you guys really are going to do that? That's and you're going to do it this year, not like in 3 years from now. You'll give it to him. You're going to give it to him right now. I thought we were on fire.
I was surprised too. I was always like, I'll just come in once a week for fun because I love being with you guys. But
I was going to talk to him about Jamie Foxx.
I sincerely believe that this is the best thing that could have happened to the Jason Ellis Show and for each of you guys personally, because whether you knew it or not, I think there was a sense of stunted growth with
I've
where
known
the
it.
show
I've felt
could
it for
be
years.
for having a corporate boss. And I have nothing negative to say about Sirius aside from firing you guys. But as far as like how they handled artists, I think they were pretty chill in comparison to other corporate broadcasting entities that I've had the luxury of working for. But now you can really lean into what makes your guys' show so special and unique. And I think that it's going to be, the future is very, very bright.
Kevin, get on the table. We're going to shoot your nuts again.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You mentioned the table. I do have, I don't know if you can see it from there, but Tony Hawk sent me the old school Tony Hawk board. Look what he wrote on there.
Ellis Mate from Demolition Radio to the Moon started from the bottom, Tony Hawk. So for people who don't know, Demolition Radio, it was the way you started in radio, Jason.
That's right. So
Demolition Radio was Tony Hawk's original weekly show on, then it was just Sirius, and you were his co-host.
Wow, I just got to say right now, watching my wife change camera angles and change, I'm fucking impressed right now.
She's like a hot David Fincher.
We're doing it, baby. We're doing it. We're like Dr. Drew Pensky and his wife. She's over
No,
there.
you are not.
She's running some.
No, you are not.
Okay.
Because
Easy.
last time I checked, Katie hasn't interrupted us at all. And so there's no
Shit.
I'm not talking shit on I'm leaving it out.
I love Susan
Susan's
Pinsky.
awesome, yeah.
Dr. Drew's wife's awesome, but
I've been
she's-
over there a
she's
couple times lately.
Special. She's unique.
Yeah.
I think what Drew loves about her, she's fucking scorching hot. But also what Drew loves about her is what makes her so unique. I would rather get on Dr. Drew's bad side 1,000,000 times over before I ever flirted with Susan's bad.
That's the
She
same
will
with-
fuck you up.
That's the same with Tony and Tony's sister, because Tony's sister is Tony's agent. And when I told these guys that Tony, I did not ask Tony. I asked Tony if he could be on the show and help us promote it when it came out. And he was like, I'd do a show with you. I'm like, really? Because I'll do a show with you if you want. And then I told these podcast people that I haven't agreed to anything yet, but I told them, I'm like, that, you know, I'm going to do that. And they, we would definitely would we want that. And I was like, well, just so you know, that's fine and dandy with me, but you're going to be talking to his sister, and his sister does not fucking play around. So I'm excited because I feel like this time round, you know, when people keep asking me, do you have management? I'm like, no, I don't have management. They're like, oh, I could offer you some. I'm like, I've heard that. Thanks. I appreciate it. But just to see what she does to that particular podcast versus my one, it'll probably make me a bit sad because it'll probably work out where there's probably nowhere near as big as this one, and I still make more money from it because she is a monster. I've seen her walk around SiriusXM. Nobody's cocky around her at SiriusXM. She calls shots.
Drew and I used to have the same.
She makes roller coasters happen. That's what she did. That's how I know. I've watched her make a Tony Hawk roller coaster in a conversation at a dinner table, and I'm like, this chick is a fucking monster. Like, that's why he doesn't need anybody.
Right.
Like, his management is his flesh and blood. He knows he can trust her, and she is, I guess, you know, she's had a good person to, because it's pretty, when you have Tony Hawk, you'd be like, fuck off.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
And they go, sorry, stacks of stuff. So I think it might be, it also having him as a client is a good, but she's still ferocious. She reminds me of Pink in a way where I have this, a little bit of an intimidation thing. Like I'll feel it and I'll even assess it myself, say to myself, are you nervous right now? Like, what the fuck, dude? Calm down. She's just some person, but they both intimidate me.
Drew and I used to have the same manager, and so when there'd be renegotiations, I would be kind of privy to everything going on in Drew's world. Not numbers, of course, because that would be inappropriate. But a lot of times, Drew and I would be renegotiating for the same job with Loveline and other TV stuff. So I was definitely privy to what was going on. And there was 2 or 3 instances where, like, our manager or our attorneys, our mutual attorneys, would have negotiations. And then I'd be like, oh, it's not getting anywhere. And then our manager, Howard, would call me and he'd be like, Susan, just talk to everybody. It's all worked out, you know? And she will, like, she's that, like you said about Tony's sister. I mean, I've watched her engage in dialogue where I go, I really wish I could say that, but I don't have the balls.
Right. You know what? Back in the day, I said that. Yeah. When I look back on it now and realizing the magnitude of it, there was a couple of times there where, I mean, I stood up out of a seat and walked over to Tim Sabian and stood over Tim Sabian, who I'd only known for a few hours. And I was like, if you don't give Tully what he wants, I'm fucking leaving. Got it? And walked out of his little glass building going, oh my God, dude. Like, you're a maniac.
Then he sprayed diarrhea all over the bathroom.
It's the same thing as when I've said that if you don't give me this raise, I'm going to quit. I had to say that I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, if these guys come back and go, that's laughable, then I have to go, see you later, because of the big speech I just made. I hated that. I can't remember how many times I did it because it blurs, but I think it was at least 4 where I told them, my argument is, if you don't give it to me, I'll quit. Because I couldn't say, I'll get a podcast. There wasn't one. But I got these things to give away to people. I don't know how to do it, but I got, hang on.
Got some scrolls.
Yeah, I didn't even
I've got the Dead Sea Scrolls.
This is the original Death, Die first.
Oh my God.
The actual print.
It's really good artwork.
Yeah, Grant Cobb did that, and then there's this. I don't want this. Justin Brewer did a portrait of me.
He did. Justin Brewer, yeah.
Yeah, and I have his art up here on the wall.
You sure do.
He is a legendary artist, really good guy. But I don't want a picture of myself.
That's like Romper Stomper Jason.
Yeah, I did, but I do want to give these away. So I feel like we don't have a Patreon yet, but when the Patreon starts, that's I still need to clarify as well. People that are following my Patreon, Dave the Voice Boyce opened my Patreon, and it says it's Jason Ellis's Patreon. Doesn't say Jason Ellis Show's Patreon. Tully has a Patreon, Kevin has a Patreon, and Jason has a Patreon. The Jason Ellis Show Patreon, it's not out yet.
But it will.
But it will be.
Right.
And when it's on there, definitely want to put stuff like this on there to give away. Also, that skateboard that just got taken off the wall because Tony Hawk's board came in, means, I'll sign that and send that away too. I just don't know exactly how all that goes yet because we're still really new, but I'm told that things like this are good and it helps spike all you guys to tell your friends to check out the show.
I mean, a Justin Bua original, like
it is, huh?
a one of a kind from Justin Bua that's a massive giveaway.
Is it?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
just him signing or painting his name on one of his prints makes it like a one of a kind, like treasure. Huh. So that's gnarly.
Yeah, I made full commitments yesterday. We moved into this house, and it's to me it's a house that at one point I was like, I can't afford to live here, and my business manager's like, oh, you're all paid up, man, you can totally live here, and I got fired, so it's been terrifying because I've said to myself, remember Bruce's Millions when he said he could die in this house?
Yes.
That's what I feel like with this house. Like I don't think I ever would have amounted to being in this house without Ken Block let me stay here or something. So it's a big deal to stay here and to try and keep it. I'm trying to figure out different ways to do all this stuff and how to have everything all work out.
Well, it's been a long time since any of us were in a movie theater.
Yeah, that's what you were trying to do.
And as a result, because virtually nothing has been released, if you go to like the Grove, the outdoor mall here in Los Angeles, it's creepy. They still have the same movies on the marquee that were up there in
Nobody's hired to change it.
It's just weird that they haven't taken them down. It's this weird post-apocalyptic thing where Sonic the Hedgehog is with Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
is
you think
a new release
Ernest
forever.
Scared Stupid.
Just from a marketing standpoint, you think they'd take that down and put up "Everybody Stay Safe"? We care. We're thinking, or I don't.
Maybe that costs too much to hire that.
Yeah.
I don't know. So there's tons and tons of new movies that were supposed to come out and are getting pushed. A bunch of them have just been released to streaming, and I think Warner Brothers said they're going to put all their stuff out that was supposed to come out in theaters, the new Wonder Woman, et cetera, et cetera. But there's going to be a lot of new movies that go to theaters in 2021 because of this backlog, and a lot of new action movies. Matrix 4 is a thing that some people care about. I don't know if the room cares about it. Daniel Craig, I think his final turn as 007.
I don't care about that.
Fast and Furious 9.
I can't believe I
Definitely don't care about that.
I do.
I
hate
kind of
you.
do as well.
I kind of will watch that.
Hate
And,
you all.
and you know what? They're both. I just realized James Bond and Fast and the Furious. It's the same movie, but for some weird reason, I'm a little more interested in watching Vin Diesel than Daniel Craig. But I want to watch Daniel Craig, but I don't want to watch James Bond because it's been around for too long, and I don't care.
You're wrong.
Yeah,
Oh, you may not care. I can't tell you what to care. That's subjective.
I'm sick of James Bond.
To compare Fast and Furious to the Bond.
You know what it is?
Is crazy.
It's English people.
That's what you don't
I'm
like.
sick of English people.
I hear you.
And Americans are more exciting. If they're going to be in a movie, who would I rather watch? An American or an Englishman? It's very obvious. And it's
Dom
the
Toretto
same.
all day, baby.
It's James Bond's not going to get any different. He's going to have a hot bitch and he's going to jump off a roof in fucking Saudi Arabia, and then he's going to be in fucking London getting a coffee and then having a shootout. It's all the same shit.
I will say this.
Vin Diesel,
There's two differences.
he could die this time.
There's two differences.
There's only 3 more Fast and Furiouses until they stop it for good.
Somebody's going to die in this one that's a heavy hitter.
I mean,
And
Daniel
need to know.
Craig could die in this one. It's his final one.
Oh.
There's rumors that they're gonna sub in the black chick in the trailer, so he could die.
James Bond could die.
And James Bond is different. Especially the last two
If
films.
James Bond dies, I'll watch it.
You watch the Connery stuff and the older stuff. It's kind of campy and silly. There's
How
a
dare
silliness
you.
to it.
idea what you're talking about.
Daniel Craig has
Obviously.
taken it into a different direction. He has.
Jaws literally
he's
had
a
metal teeth. That's why he was so
conflicted guy.
strong.
He's a conflicted guy that he
Yeah.
he feels.
He's a conflicted
He does.
guy.
I mean, there's
Wait,
these
you're
scenes-
trying to say that this is what the James Bond's better now because it's got a deep underlaying thing about how emotional James Bond is. That makes it better for you.
I said
that he's
it's
a
different.
fucking crybaby now.
I said it's different. I didn't say it's better. I said it's different.
You're
Daniel
saying
Craig,
he's a bit of a bitch. He's got some emotions that he has to deal
no,
with.
I said he's a real human being.
What happened to him just fucking all the hot bitches and then killing the bad guy?
James Bond, for 45 years, 50, 60 years, has murdered lots of people.
Yeah.
And Sean Connery used to stab someone in the neck with a ballpoint pen. And he'd be like, "Oh, it's fantastic."
They were bad.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, they had it coming.
They
Thank
were
you, Michael.
Russian,
Yeah.
goddammit.
I
Everybody knows Russians
Daniel
have it
Craig,
coming.
though, he kills tons of people, but there's a thing where when he's alone and he has no friends and family, he's
He drinks
You could tell that
martinis.
he's a tortured guy, and I do appreciate that kind of human layer.
I mean, I do like in Casino Royale when that one guy racked his nuts through a chair.
Solid.
Like
yes.
whoever thought that would be a thing. Like one day in a Bond movie, they're going to cut the ass out of a chair, sit him on there naked, and then like swing at them and be like, "Bonk, got your nuts." That's that's
my nuts.
how am I going to fuck Pushy?
Actually, okay, that reminds me of something. We'll get back to movies. I think I want to talk to you guys about movies, but I can't not bring up this news story that I saw about an ancient and unfortunately perhaps dying martial art in China. The Kung Fu masters who have mastered the iron crotch. It's what it sounds like.
It's a gimmick.
Well, the guy says that it's been going on in his village for hundreds of years, and the only reason why he's not that it was a secret, but they didn't really talk about it a whole month. They tried to keep a low profile, but now he fears that the art of the iron crotch is dying.
Yeah, good.
And so that's why he said years ago there were hundreds and hundreds of people who would swarm on his village to learn the art of the iron crotch.
You know what
and
it
now
is,
he's only
right?
got like 5 students.
You know what it is, right?
What?
He puts his ball. You know when you lift a lot of weights and you jizz and your balls go up in your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he puts them up in there.
Ugh. You think?
Yeah, and he just holds them there.
Hasn't he met Steve-O? Because he's got a pretty...
Steve-O doesn't. Steve-O just leaves them out and takes the shot.
That's what I'm saying. We got iron crotch, a man of an iron crotch.
Well, it seems like it hurts Steve-O.
Keeps coming back for more though.
These iron crotch guys get kicked and they don't move.
Yeah, they shrug it off.
But they put their balls inside their fucking thing, so it's bullshit.
Well, I can show you, Kevin can show you video and you can judge for yourself. In its most famous technique, a steel plate capped log 6 feet in length, weighing 88 pounds, swings through the air and smashes into the man's crotch. The 65-year-old man's crotch.
How do we know he has a penis?
Yeah.
He has 2 children.
Yeah, but they could have had that and then got it removed after it.
Adopted.
He's been doing this his whole entire life, goddammit.
Man.
Less spectacularly, he also
Does he
practices.
have eyes?
He practices the iron back.
Wait, I'm
the
not trying
iron
to be.
chest.
I mean, he has a very. I'm not, Michael, I know you're. Wait,
Take another look.
I'm not saying he's Asian and he has little eyes. I'm saying he has little eyes. He just so happens to be Asian.
Well, if you had a log,
Hey, Asian people can be eyeless too.
guys, fuck you guys, man.
if you were taking
Michael-
giant battering rams of a dick, your eyes might
you're
disappear
married to
too.
a Japanese lady.
Yes.
Does he have small eyes? Fuck.
You know what it is? I think he has very. I think
He can't. He's not. They're not even open.
no. I think he has like
he has very sleepy eyes.
he has normal kind of Asian eyes, but I think he has like really ridiculously bloated cheek things that make it look like he's
He
even
looks very
more-
happy for a guy that takes logs to the nuts.
And he can't see. Maybe he doesn't know that it's hitting him in the balls.
I don't know that he practices the iron face technique, which could have resulted in that, but
Right.
he does practice. He does practice the iron throat technique. We don't have video of that, but he also takes that.
He takes
log
shots to the throat?
Adam's apple.
Oh, that could have something to do with his eyes.
Yeah, maybe he's been hitting the nuts so many times and going like, oh,
Right.
that his
Stuck
eyes just
that
went
way.
away.
Right, because he doesn't seem to show the hit in the nut face. Maybe
Yeah.
that it's just a constant hit in the nut face, which means he's just really squinty all the time.
like super tough boxers in their body shots. Like those guys who could just you could just wail.
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
like it's dead inside.
What if when he
Good.
takes his pants off, his penis is just flattened like a spatula?
Well, you can take a shot to the dick. It doesn't hurt that much. Like one time I squashed my knob against my hip bone, but most of the time when I take a dick shot, it doesn't really hurt.
It's the balls.
It's the balls.
Oh, balls hurt, but I definitely don't like getting kicked in the penis.
I'm not saying I want people to kick me in the dick. I'm just saying when I've been hit in the dick versus in the nads, it's 2 different games.
Oh, yeah.
Like one, you're like, oh man, me dick, and then you like kind of wear it, you kind of run it, you kind of walk it off.
Yeah.
And the other one, you're down and out. You know what I mean? You're like, having a little bit of a problem for a few seconds.
There's a sexy way to smack my boner. There's no sexy way to backhand my crotch. My balls.
You know what? That is a good point. Like,
you.
if
Thank
I'm
you.
in the middle of a hot threesome and someone goes whack on the side of my balls,
A naughty wang.
yeah, I don't know if I'm okay with that. But if it's but if you crack my boner across your head, I'm all right with that. That's fine.
I went to high school with Naughty Wang. He was a tough guy.
Other movies coming out in 2021. Black Widow. I can't bring myself to care about Scarlett Johansson's Avengers character. The big one really is, Mission Impossible. Do you guys, Mission Impossible 7? We're already at 7? How the fuck did that happen?
I don't actually care about those.
Yeah,
at
kinda
all.
Cool. I'm into them.
Same here.
And I'm easy when it comes to movies.
See,
I'm
I
into
watched
everything.
that recently on Hulu because I just that's my thing is I have Hulu in the background playing movies because if you have it on normal TV, someone starts lying about politicians and it makes me angry.
Yeah.
So I watch Hulu because it's mindless. And it's like if I'm not answering people on my phone about the show, I'm watching mindless stuff that keeps me relaxed. And I just feel like Tom Cruise I'm sick of it. I'm sick of watching him on the TV. And when you're kicking ass, I'm sick of him kicking ass.
He needs another like Magnolia type film. He really does. Because I'm with you. Like him being the guy who looks way too good for his age and does his own stunts and is super fucking the ex special ops or type of infallible hero. I just need a little refresher, and like he needs that. Like I always think back to that scene in Magnolia where he's by his dying dad's bedside, and he breaks, and you're like, oh my god, well, Tom Cruise is an actor. I forgot. I saw him as Maverick or the Mission Impossible guy, and you realize you're like, oh no, this guy, he's an actor. He has a different side of him, And I think he does need like a Rain Man or a Magnolia or something to spice up this. It's been a decade, right, of just ass kicking.
Way more than that. But don't you get to that point where, like, if you don't sort of age gracefully as a man is supposed to, like if he looked like a 55-year-old guy was supposed to, he would naturally be transitioning into playing guys with a past or dads or something like that. But then
he could have a particular set of skills when he gets older.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
I have a theory on that. I think what they're going to do is...
The guy that had the original particular set of skills is not doing that anymore. He's lost his skills. He's officially too old. Which I think is cool. He called it on himself. You know that?
Good for him.
He was like, look, me with the particular skills, 70, you guys should.
I like Liam Neeson a lot.
Me too, but
I had a
he's
situation
got a
with
point.
him on the red carpet where I realized like oh no, he's a real guy.
And he's got a big fat
real
cock,
dude,
too.
Of course he's a real guy.
I asked him a question
How do you know about that?
about this most recent film that he did. I believe it's his most recent film with it was the Steve McQueen directed film with mostly African Americans.
Widows?
Widows, yes.
Yeah.
Very good film, and he's
Yeah.
awesome in it. But he dies in it, which is and they actually show it in the trailer. And for the last 10, 12 years, I'm so used to Liam Neeson surviving everything.
Yeah.
With all his movies. And so I asked him a question, and I go, dude, was it odd to make a movie where you die? And I don't know what he heard me say, but he did not hear me say that. And he's like, what did you say? And it wasn't show business.
Yeah.
He goes, listen, you better turn your attitude around. And he's 6'5".
Yeah.
And he's like, you better turn your attitude around or I will fix your attitude. That is an inappropriate. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know what. And then his publicist came over and she goes, did you mishear him? He said, and he goes, I am so sorry. I misheard you, but I am so. But before he apologized, he was very gentlemanly about it. The way he did it, it wasn't like
my
I'm
God.
saving face. It was
So what did he think you said?
I still.
Hey, Liam, I heard your
not-
mom is bi.
I'm trying to wait. That's
told
not
my
gonna.
wife-
That's not gonna. That's not gonna get him to fight. Yeah.
Really?
I told my wife.
What's
this
wrong with
story.
saying your mum's bi?
I did.
On a
This
red
was at
carpet from a stranger?
That's not fighting words, is it? Really?
Maybe for an Irishman. For an Irishman, maybe.
if I hope your mum dies? That might be. He said, "What did you say?"
I told my
But
wife.
if he said, "Hey man, I heard your mum's bi," how could Liam Gallagher get that? Angry?
Liam Gallagher.
I mean, sorry.
If Liam Gallagher did that to me, I'd
kind of his
blast
thing.
his face off.
How dare you?
No, but I told my wife this as soon as I got home, and she said, wow, I don't know. Maybe something about his wife who tragically died,
Oh shit!
But
Oh, he thought he's. Oh,
I don't know. That was a great.
Oh,
and it was
okay.
a great.
He thought he said something about your wife. Hey, your wife died. How's that going?
I don't know. And his
fuck.
bodyguard is a friend of mine. He trains jujitsu with me.
Yeah.
A really good guy, Eric. And I asked him, and he's like, dude, I don't know. I'd never seen him turn like that. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, because he thought you said something about his dead wife, dude.
Yeah, but from that point on, I was like, you know what? Liam Neeson doesn't just play a tough guy. I think Liam Neeson would have punched me if he felt slighted.
Yeah,
you know?
but it's a fucking 70-year-old punch.
Sure. Sure.
You got to slip that.
He has a
He's got
massive
that
cock too.
Big,
Massive.
big dick energy, yeah.
Massive cock.
You
He'll
guys.
punch you with his dick.
No, Janice Dixon told me to my face. She's like, you don't understand.
no,
I know there's the legend of Liam Neeson's cock. The first time he pulled it out, I said, whoa, what do we do? Like, no. And she's like, and I'm a whore. I love Janice Dixon, but she was very old, and she's like sliced alone, very average penis, but great physique, obviously. She went down the list of celebrities. But she said Liam Neeson's is that big. It is shockingly huge.
Good to know.
Yeah. No,
Well, some
it's-
other day on the show, we can try to figure out which classic action star has the fattest hog.
Yeah, right.
But for
'Cause
now,
sounds like that's really what you want.
Yeah.
I
But-
thought we might talk about some of the classics of the action genre from throughout the years. In the past, we've talked about who is actually the toughest action movie character that has ever appeared on film. In the past, when we've talked about it, we restricted our conversation to in hand-to-hand battle. But obviously, for the most part, most of these people have weapons, use weapons. So I thought today I could run through the list of most of the iconic action characters that we've seen and enjoyed throughout the years and try to figure out, if push came to shove, who would emerge victorious from a battle royale of all of them.
Now, does this include modern weaponry? This includes guns and grenade launchers, or is this just like swords and battle axes?
No. I guess this would be the stuff that we have seen them use in movies.
Okay.
And I think that this is sort of eliminates, for example, you might think Maximus from Gladiator is the toughest guy that was ever in a movie, but we only ever saw him using like an axe or something.
Deadpool would kill him.
Deadpool would easily
Deadpool would
handle,
fuck shit up.
Right, whatever you might think of Deadpool. I like Deadpool personally, but yes.
Yeah.
What about that metal guy that hangs out with Deadpool?
Colossus.
Seems pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, Colossus is tough.
I mean, does he die? He's metal.
Listen,
Not yet.
if we're including superheroes, Hulk wins.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
I really don't believe that.
I saw him pull a tank like this and fucking throw it like 7 football fields.
Thor could do that.
Can he? Kevin would.
Thor and Hulk have fought, and
Yeah, they had a
they
fight.
fought to like a stalemate.
Yeah.
That's why they're bros.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
it
the way that
also
works.
it's so tough with those characters because it all depends on the scenario. Like if it's important to the story that Hulk loses, yeah, Hulk will lose in that scenario. There's a thing going like if you're talking about current comics, Hulk is immortal. There's nothing taking Hulk out. Nothing.
And from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Kevin, if there was a real battle royale, they all agree Captain Marvel fucks everyone up as far as just powers.
Who's Captain Marvel?
The Brie Larson character. Supposedly she
Who's
has
that?
yeah, out of the Avengers, supposedly she's the most dangerous.
Who the fuck
Yeah,
is that?
She's in Captain Marvel.
What was she in?
Captain Marvel. And she was in. Did you see Endgame? Avengers Endgame.
Did you see the newest King Kong movie?
Yeah.
Kong Island, Skull Island, or
Yeah.
Kong Island, or
Yeah.
she's the hot blonde in that.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll try and pull up a picture on my phone. But she's basically like Marvel's Superman. She's so overpowered that they had to come up with storylines to keep her busy while the other Avengers were like dealing with certain crises, because if Captain Marvel shows up, it's over. So they have to keep her busy doing other
Why
things.
did they do that? Why did they make her so powerful? This seems stupid.
And aren't there 2 Captain Marvels?
Yeah, what happened to Captain Marvel?
There's a complicated comic book history.
Is this
of that.
because we're trying to pay women back for all the disrespect?
No, I believe there was a comic book storyline way predating this that where Captain Marvel was a chick and she was the most powerful of the Avengers. I don't think they invented
Isn't it
this.
crazy that whoever wrote that one just gets the law of the land of when you bring her out, she is the strongest person. Yeah, okay, I saw that. I can't click on it, which shows what a misogynistic piece of shit I am. Like when I see that, I'm like, man, you know what I really don't like is comic book movies.
Yeah.
A female comic book movie, I'm out. I'm out again. I'm double out.
I hear good things about Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I can't do it. I saw that too. I can't click on it.
I hear a lot
It's
of
awesome.
bad things about Wonder Woman 1984, the newest one that's coming
Really?
out soon. I've heard a lot of it's too woke to enjoy, but it could have been just assholes that are saying that. But the first Wonder Woman came out like 4 or 5 years ago. It's really good. It's really good. Chris Pine is fucking awesome. It takes place in like World War I, so there's like this cool dynamic where she helps the Allies.
I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah,
It's sick. Wonder Woman, first one kicks ass.
Wait, you think it's good too, Katie?
You've seen it.
I have.
You loved it. Don't even worry about it.
Oh, well, boy, did I
Turns
enjoy
out
that.
you're woke and not a misogynist at all.
Good
Yeah,
to know.
remember?
Yeah, no, that was important.
Okay, back to the Hulk thing. If Iron Man just turns around on Hulk, Iron Man beats Hulk.
No way.
no.
Really?
No.
Dude, you can blow up Hulk.
No, you can't.
No, it just pisses him off and makes
Yeah.
him stronger.
I guess you,
Yeah,
you
like if
could,
anything
you
really
drop a
hurts him-
nuclear warhead on
Yeah, but
him.
doesn't that make
But
him?
I've seen
doesn't that
them
make him get even bigger though? Like
Yes.
the more you hit him with, the bigger he gets.
Because
Right?
I've seen,
nuke won't kill Hulk.
At least in the Eric Bana one, they a whole battalion of U.S. military unload with tanks and rocket launchers and guns, and he's just like walking
yeah,
towards
the Hulk
them.
exists because of like radiation. So you're not going to kill him with a nuke.
That's just ridiculous.
So that's my
All right.
point.
How dare
Okay,
you,
what
Michael.
now? What about Superman? Superman fucks shit
I
up.
thought you said Captain America is stronger than Superman.
But
Okay,
he's
so
DC.
clearly
Yeah.
Captain Marvel wins.
and didn't
We can't-
Superman almost lose to Batman when he was Ben Affleck?
It's a bullshit of all bullshit.
Just
I don't
saying.
care what comic book geeks tell me. It's like
Fucking
you don't
those guys
understand the
act-
storyline. Fuck that.
Those guys duked it out, like even Steven.
Superman would fucking destroy.
Well, then why
without
why
even
was that a movie?
because it's there's a long running comic book theme of Superman.
You
Superman
guys- but you
almost
guys-
lost to Gene Hackman.
Wow, good point. There was several instances there where he was almost completely
Hackman
done if
had
it
him on
wasn't
the
for somebody
ropes.
else. Yeah, he got lucky. He would have been dead, fucking in the 80s by some bald fuckhead, and his assistant almost wiped him out. Yeah, he's a useless prick.
That's why they gave him the kryptonite invulnerability, because there has to be. You can't read a comic where somebody is basically just invincible.
There's no
there
stakes.
There needs to be a little bit of that, like, oh fuck, are they going to get him, or else why bother?
All right, let me throw some more names into this conversation. We've already touched on some of the real heavy hitters. When you talk about like cartoon-based superheroes, it becomes hard for like the Rambos of the world to compete.
If we were doing regular humans, Rambo
could beat Elmer Fudd.
Yeah,
Like he would kill the fuck out of that guy.
I think Rambo fucks up John Wick.
I think he killed Bugs Bunny.
I think Rambo fucks up John Wick.
well, Rambo
Yeah, makes
also
sense.
has a special like unspoken power in the movies where nobody can hit him. Like he's endlessly getting shot at, and he's just standing there like,
It's kind of like
and everybody's missing.
What's the guy in when you smell that? Like napalm in the morning guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He stands up when there's explosions going on that whole movie, and everyone's like, "This guy's just the guy that doesn't get hit," and he
Yeah.
knows he's not going to get hit. So that's kind of Rambo's thing. Because I'm familiar with him. Somebody shooting at him, and instead of him moving to like hide behind a rock that he's standing on, he stands on the top of it and fucking like maybe ties his shoes up for a second before he even like cranks a bow and arrow.
The reason I go with Rambo is because besides maybe Schwarzenegger and Commando, I've never seen John Wick fuck
Well,
shit
Commando
up.
would lose because Commando's got a daughter, and that is something you can use against him. Rambo has
and
no children. He
John
loves no
Wick-
man.
Feelings make you a pussy.
John Wick fucks
Everybody
shit
knows
up.
that.
But John Wick's a human being, and he's
Yeah, he's crying about his fucking puppy
He
dog
also
and his
gets
wife.
shot.
He doesn't
gets
want to
shot.
go.
Wham,
he
a wife
doesn't
died.
want to go on killing sprees. They backed him in the corner.
Yeah, yeah.
Rambo
He doesn't mind.
Rambo has a blood.
Yeah, good point, Michael. Before we just breeze over that he was pushed into coming back, he fucking wanted to come back. He had nothing else to do. He was bored shitless.
Yeah, and in John Wick 3, when he fights that like 8-foot tall guy in the library, like he could have just killed that guy. He decided to like rip his jaw off and then line his head up on the spine of a book and snap his neck. Like he could have killed him quick, but he ripped his fucking
John
jaw
Rambo
off.
He loves
travels the world lighting fuckers up. He goes to Burma. He goes to the fucking Philippines and just and people are turning into pink mist.
Yeah.
I'm saying he gets off on murder. That's
Okay,
why I
he's
put
on a
but what
homicidal
about-
world tour.
But what about he's 80 now, and he's like a rancher.
Okay.
You got to look into that.
Let's go Rambo 2 Rambo, I'm saying. Like 40-year-old.
we're going time machine?
40-year-old shredded.
You got to go with peak because otherwise,
Okay.
yeah, if they stop making the movies, then the character stops aging. So
Yeah,
go
but you
with the
can't. They still make the movie.
They do. Okay, so we just stick with human beings. So we don't have the Terminator, for example.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
going
then you
through-
can't have. Hulk's a human being.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm cool with not allowing the
No
Hulk.
superpowers.
Yeah.
Let's say no superpowers.
superpowers. Okay, great. Okay, so we've discussed Rambo. I'm just going through the list of the most badass big screen action heroes of all time. Indiana Jones is obviously a big name. He's not
You
going
get
to hang
bitched.
with
No.
these guys. Yeah.
He's got a fucking six-shooter.
How long does he last against, say, a Rambo?
Not at all.
Wait, who?
Indiana Jones.
Oh man, that is a brutal death.
Not at all. Yeah.
Yeah, Rambo's going to crush him. It's going to be bad. It's going to be. He's going to throw that whip. It's
Yeah.
going to crank around Rambo's arm, and Rambo's going to pull him in from it, like take the whip shot, no problem. Pull him in, and then I think like literally just bear hug him and crush his ribs and murder him in a bear hug.
Yeah. I see it more as Indiana Jones is like going into a cave like he always exploring something, and then there's the eyeballs open, and it's Rambo, and it's like he just fucking like squashes his head.
I feel like Indiana
Rambo
Jones
pops out of the rolling boulder.
I feel like Indiana Jones's dad would do better, don't you think?
Oh, fuck, I would. Of course.
Yeah. He seemed like more of a.
My son's a pussy.
Yeah, that's what I
What's the
thought.
dog's name?
Well, James Bond is, we've watched him fuck shit up.
Yeah, but the Connery Bond movies, like, the action scenes are so slow. Like, he'll pick a bad guy up, like, dust him off, fix his collar, and then he winds his fist up like,
it's not that. No, what do you mean? Why, dude? Until this new one, this has been the attack of fucking James Bond.
Karate chop.
They karate chop you on the fucking side of the clavicle and you're unconscious. That is not. No one has that. Do you know that?
Yeah.
It's a gentleman's knockout.
I'm saying that's another reason why I think the new Bonds, they are different. The action sequences in the last 3 or 4 Bonds have been fucking amazing.
Yeah, because he's actually a fit guy instead of like some fat, like never been to a gym sloth like Sean Connery and the one before him. Both of them were very normal, if in my opinion, a little bit overweight.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of a belly.
How about Jason Bourne?
Jason Bourne gets done by Rambo.
Okay.
Why do you say that?
Because Jason Bourne has like new kid stuff that it's more spy stuff. Like when it actually gets to up close, he's just more powerful. Like he's gonna out strengthen you. Like when you get into the tussle and you're trying to like do thumb locks and sweep the leg and shit, Rambo's gonna just crush you. He's from the 80s.
Well, I also think
once you get a hand on you, that's it.
I'll get back to Jason Bourne. We've seen him kill people and fuck shit up for self-preservation. He wakes up with the amnesia. He's a spy. He has to do his things. He's obviously well-trained. John Rambo got pushed over the edge by Brian Dennehy after getting back from Vietnam and then said, I'm going to fuck shit. That's it. He is committed and loves to kill. Like, so I'm going to say he's still odds-on favorite in my eyes.
I think it's one of those things where Rambo takes a lot of punishment at the start.
Yeah.
Because Bourne's got all those things that he brings. But Rambo can just take a lot of shot. Like he can take a gunshot through the guts and like clean it out with some gunpowder and he's good to go again. He's that guy at the very end when you think you've got him, does one more thing.
You can never hurt this guy like this country hurt him when it turned its back on him and all the other
Well
villains.
said.
I didn't choose this.
Yeah.
I came back. People spit on me.
Great acting.
Schwarzenegger in The Predator. That was a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, wow. That's
He fist fought the Predator and won.
And he's just a
No,
guy.
he did not.
No superpowers.
Yes, he did. He beat him up so bad that the Predator said, ha, 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 and had to fucking commit suicide and blow up the island.
Yeah, but wasn't that when they went into, how did he get the upper hand on that? Did he?
First off, he tussled with him. The Predator was throwing him around and shit.
Okay, 'cause
and
he
then
was losing.
Arnold dragged him in. He had him like in some type of grappling hold, and then dragged him into the area where the big tree swung and fucking smashed his.
Okay, that's what it was.
So on top of wrecking all those Colombians, like he wrecked like fucking 100 Colombian dudes, then was the only guy out of the super badass elite fighting forces who survived all the Predator shit, and then took him to the limit.
It's a good fight. It's an even fight. I just think when it comes to Rambo's hiding abilities, Predator Schwarzenegger did hide, and he was doing a pretty good job. But in the end, Predator did see where he was. He did spot him.
He has infrared vision.
Yeah,
but it's not fair.
Arnold did the mud thing.
Yeah, but it didn't work. It was an accident, remember?
Yeah, he fell in the muddy river. He didn't mean to.
And then when he fell in the water, then it washed off and he could see him again.
you couldn't see my heat.
Rambo was literally a cliff with eyes.
Yeah.
That's right. Arnold's more of a novice mudman. Rambo's
the level of mudman that Rambo is no comparison.
Well, if we're talking booby traps, where does Kevin McCallister from Home Alone fall?
He could fuck shit up. He could really serve people.
He could be in the top 20 of this discussion.
Yeah,
he is sadistic motherfucker.
If it's at his parents' house,
Oh my God.
look out. Yeah. Rambo versus that kid
Yeah.
at that kid's parents' house Rambo's gonna win in the end, but it's still he's definitely hurt.
He's going to take some swinging tennis rackets to the face.
He's gonna take tarantulas are gonna attack him. He's gonna go the full 9.
An anvil's gonna fall on his head. He's gonna step on a nail.
All those things.
Just stepping in over Joe Pesci's corpse.
You're kidding me? It's a kid. What about Liam Neeson in Taken?
Sure.
That character is unkillable. He fucks up all Albania. All of Albania dies.
Albanian drug dealers are not really like the Predator, you know?
With all due respect to Albanian drug
Yeah.
dealers.
I'm not trying to shit on Albanians at all. I'm just saying the Predator, he's from Alien.
Okay.
He has like laser hands and shit, and he's easy invisible at will.
What about Bruce Lee?
Armenians just have Adidas tracksuits. You can see him coming a mile away.
Well, Bruce Lee never used weapons. So the first time somebody shows
Just
up with,
nunchucks,
a machine gun, there goes Bruce Lee.
Bruce does nunchucks.
But that's
but
not going to
Rambo
last
shows up
long.
with a machine
When
Did you ever hear
Rambo,
what he said? Why doesn't someone get a 45? Bang, set away.
You're right, exactly. Even he respects that guns are
Even
better than
he,
him.
in his biggest movie, said at the start of it when they were going to hire him to go to an island to kill a guy,
You know,
why
you
don't
could
you,
just get
you know,
a
you
gun.
guys could just get a 45 and bang, set away. Do you know that? And they were like, no, we need you, Bruce. You know, all right.
We want this to take like an hour and a half, hour 45.
John McClane of
Right.
Die Hard fame.
Oh, man, he's so pathetic.
But he's so not pathetic.
He's so pathetic.
He's better at not dying than he is at killing.
Yeah, I agree. He is he wins accidentally almost every time. Not to shit on people from Jersey because it's half the show. Actually, it's more than half the
New
show.
York, it's New York, but
He's a fucking Jersey guy. In that movie, okay, maybe his wife.
he's an East Coast tough guy. Yes, I will say that.
To
But I
me,
believe
as an
he was-
Australian
he
who
was
watched them
MITD
all,
though, I thought.
I felt like he was trying to introduce me to New Jersey. Like he was the demographic of, yeah, I'm in New York, but you guys are fucking pussies. And I took that as because you live in the suburbs. I always thought from watching Copland and shit that the suburbs of New York was New Jersey. Like nobody lived in New York. They all lived in Jersey and drove to New York.
There's a lot of truth to that. I mean, it's very similar.
But it's not the
Like,
facts.
Like
Well, so
Long
Manhattan-
Island, and
Manhattan's
Queens.
the hub of it, and then people come in from all the boroughs, and North Jersey may as well just be another borough that people come in.
Yeah, that's
Right,
what I
'cause
did.
it's
when I
really
worked in
same
New York.
distance,
It's
right?
really expensive to exactly. It's really expensive to live in Manhattan, and that's where tons of jobs are. So yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, and from the limited experience I have, Queens and parts of Long Island are very similar to Jersey.
It's funny.
Oh, hell yeah.
I put them all down in the same category of. It's weird. I put that is you're a more reality based human being. You know, like you're from the suburbs and you go to the big smoke because you've got to make the money, but you don't take that shit serious.
He has fucked shit up. I mean, he has seriously fucked.
Yeah, we got to talk about which John McClane we're including in this because in the third one with Samuel L. Jackson, he's like hung over that whole time too.
Yeah, he
So
is.
that's like if he's fighting through that and all the pain and like getting his arm sliced open by that big cable when they fall on the barge,
Yeah.
I think the toughness counts a lot. I've actually
You're just trying to
this
add
is-
hangover as a justification of making him the toughest man in the world.
It's so lame, but like
I mean, if he
I've
was
been-
really tough, would he not ask? He asked for like some headache pills at the start of the movie. Like, do you really? Should you just give him a shot?
You want to fight? Can I stretch first?
Yeah.
I had a rough night.
Yeah. Well, come on. Oh,
I've
don't
been-
fight right now. I'm gonna vomit.
I've had just like the gnarliest hangovers, and on multiple occasions thought like, wow, I couldn't imagine if I had to be John McClane right now and like run and punch people and get
Yeah.
punched. Like even just getting up to go barf in the toilet, I'm like, oh, this is misery. Like
Yes.
saving New York.
Yeah, but you got to take into account John McClane wakes up hungover the same way every day and has done for years. This is not a new morning for John.
It still seems like it sucked that day.
Yeah, he's an alcoholic.
Can we include portrayals on film that are still like actual real people?
For example,
The SEAL Team 6 of what's that movie? The Jessica Chastain. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
or
don't
American
think so.
Sniper. Like Chris Kyle is. I'd put him pretty high. You know, American Sniper guy. I'd put him pretty fucking high on killing people and his ability to.
Jason Bourne would destroy him.
yeah, when we're talking about larger than life characters, they're
Yeah.
pretty much by definition they can do things that ordinary people could never dream of doing. We've discussed John Wick.
John Wick's pretty solid.
He knows all the guns. He knows how to make guns out of half guns.
What are there like early 90s, 80s?
Take a lot of damage.
ridiculous films that.
Clint Eastwood from, The Good, the Bad,
Dirty
the Ugly.
Harry.
Sure, Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry versus John Wick.
That's not a fight. John Wick dismembers him.
Isn't it fucked up that Dirty Harry? Yeah, you're so right. Like Dirty Harry basically has, if you throw an overhand right, he does that one block thing, and then he throws his punch, which is I will say this: if Dirty Harry punched John Wick would be knocked out.
Yeah, he does have heavy hands.
He could shoot him while he was unconscious.
But that's like saying who
Indiana
wins?
Jones has a sweet right hand too. That's a fight I'd watch. Dirty Harry and Indy. Because they both
that's your co-main.
they've got big crunching right hands and they keep it stock. They'll both oblige each other in a face punching fight, you know?
What about like Inoki versus George?
Who the fuck is Inoki?
In the 70s, I believe there was that fake MMA fight with the Japanese guy and Muhammad Ali. And I forgot his last name. It was first name, but his last name was Inoki. I'm saying like that era of tough guy, compare it to the training of a tough guy today. Like Clint Eastwood does not stand. John Wick would fucking dismember him.
Isn't that crazy to know that? John Wick knows so many more moves than Dirty Harry.
But does he know more moves than Chuck Norris?
Delta Force Chuck Norris fucks people up.
Yeah, but he's old. Those are like old moves. John Wick has judo and shit. Like
Chuck Norris lights people on fire.
Chuck Norris doesn't have judo.
I don't think he. Oh no, Chuck Norris in real life? Chuck Norris in real life could fuck shit up.
Well, we're talking about which one are you trying to do here?
Delta Force Chuck. But
Delta Force Chuck fucks people up.
Dude, he doesn't have jiu-jitsu.
Chuck have obviously he would use Chuck Norris's entire repertoire.
Yeah, why wouldn't he have his kicks and shit? And he is legit. He will fuck you up.
I'm saying that as you noticed in John Wick, the first one where a guy was a better striker than him, he landed several spin kicks, took him down, they threw him off a balcony at one point. But then in the end, John Wick got him on the ground and choked him to death.
Yeah.
Because that's what John Wick does. If you're better than him at one thing, he'll figure out another way to get you. And in my opinion, Chuck Norris beats the shit out of John Wick and it goes to the ground. John Wick pulls his fucking belt off and murders him.
But what if, then the same argument goes for Rambo. What if Delta Force Chuck Norris helicopters in with an M16 on a rocket launcher
John
on
Wick
it?
knows all those people.
Because he lights dudes up.
John Wick has all those people. All those people with the stabbing your thumb. And
He does have his homies, yeah.
Fucking helicopters in seconds, dude. There's a Saudi guy that fucking met him in the goddamn desert when he followed to the moon till he died and got his finger chopped off. That guy can get you a fucking chopper. If we're talking about coming in hot with the artillery, John Wick can do that. And now you just made me realize when it gets down to it and John Rambo's in the house, peak John Rambo from that time has no fucking jiu-jitsu, no judo. And when it comes to the ground, Rambo never had any spin kicks. He only has punches. He has the same stock block and punch that fucking Clint Eastwood has. So he would get fucking annihilated.
Okay, if we're going battle royale, then that's
what we're doing.
Okay, yeah. Then you got to think hand-to-hand combat more. Stress it. John Wick's high. Then you got to say what about Randy Couture's character in fucking Expendables? Because he will fucking drag you to the ground and beat your ass.
The ground rules of the conversation is that they are able to lean on their weaponry as well.
Okay,
but if
John Wick is better than Randy Couture.
Roadblock or Randy Couture in Expendables was pretty sweet. I mean,
I'm not saying he's not sweet. I'm just saying if you look at their levels of karma and how the world works when they're both on the big screen, John Wick's luck is bigger than Randy Couture's because Randy's eighth in line in the Expendables. Maybe not even that.
Okay.
I can't live in a world where Randy Couture in the Expendables wins this battle royale.
Yeah,
here's one.
What about insane? Yeah.
Gina Carano's character in that Ewan McGregor movie. She fucks people up and was like a weapon. She was an assassin.
What about Baby Yoda?
I know. I know, right? Because he can control your mind.
You said humans. You said real non-superhero, no superpower. She can
beat John Wick. Why even bring it up if you know she can't beat him?
All right. The Equalizer. What about the Equalizer?
Equalizer and John Wick's a good fight, but Equalizer is older. He's already older. By Expendables 2, sorry, Kevin, he's fucking 65. He's fat.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have the same, it's quick. He has 65 seconds of kicking your ass, and then he can't gas. He'll gas out.
I feel like the final matchup of this might be the Equalizer versus Kevin McCallister in a trap off. Just put them both in a Walmart. and they have to booby trap each other.
I'd never stop watching that movie. You understand? Like there'd never be.
They
a
could never stop bringing out a new one too, because that could go forever. Those guys don't die.
Yeah, I mean, Equalizer 2 was the only sequel that Denzel ever made. So
And
he's already into the idea.
I want Macaulay Culkin playing Kevin McCallister now. I want 40-year-old Macaulay Culkin like I set up a trap.
Yeah, he's actually been living in this abandoned Lowe's for like the past 25 years.
And Denzel comes to work one day because he works at the hardware store, right? And he comes to work like,
Is there any way we could get
my man?
Is there any way we could get John Connor to be in that movie as well? Because I just feel like he fits with those. The one that got older and got fat and turned
They're very
into
similar
alcohol.
people.
Edward Furlong?
Eddie Furlong.
Is it Furlong? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
I just feel like him.
Kevin McCallister is hanging out with Eddie Furlong. And Kevin's mom took him to the she went to the bathroom 37 years ago. And hasn't come back.
Those two are so perfect to be washed up at Walmart with each other.
She's just at home as a 75-year-old woman. Kevin!
Those guys, they like rode a Banshee to the fucking Walmart. Like they got like a 4-wheel that they ride together.
Yep.
Like they're just fucking losers.
That's called Home at Lowe's.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I would watch that. Tell you. Those two together in anything I'd watch. That just sounds exciting to me.
And I think Kevin here could be a stunt double or a stand-in for 40-year-old Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
From behind, you guys are pretty similar these days.
Okay.
Yeah, just clean me up a little bit. I can do that.
Have you seen him?
One just dawned on me, and it qualifies. Batman. Just a dude.
He is just
Doesn't have superpowers. He has a lot of money, and he's a fucking well-trained ninja motherfucker.
No jiu-jitsu.
You don't know that.
Well, he never used it.
He did too.
When did he jiu-jitsu?
When he fucked up the final fight with Bane,
Yeah.
he fucking grapples. But Bane throws him around like a doll, but he grapples.
Jiu-jitsu.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. The best jiu-jitsu I've ever seen on camera was that
Doesn't Batman wear a
Gina Carano movie.
Doesn't Batman wear a mask where he can't turn his head?
He does sort of turn his shoulders to look when he hears the Joker.
That
come
doesn't seem like the greatest jiu-jitsu attire. Like if I'm behind you, how fucked are you?
he's also a genius, and he has just endless gadgets.
Yeah,
And
like
if he has those
he's
gadgets,
not coming in just like, okay,
Yeah.
let's fight. He's going to have a whole plan.
Yeah, so I'm saying
Got smoke
John Wick
bombs.
can shoot and you're throwing your weapons and you got your belt and then and they both extinguish each other until you're up close and you're fighting. He has a better suit, so he can take way more damage, but John Wick also has a bulletproof suit, which I don't know how the fuck that's humanly possible, but he does have it. It takes shots.
Yes.
He's held it up over his face before while people machine gun at him, and it fucking protected him. I saw that. So if he has that and Batman both have it, in the end, they tussle. The ground, you know it. I know you want to make Batman the winner, but
No.
you've never seen Batman in any movie throw up an arm bar.
I've seen him grapple, but you're right. I've never seen him ground game.
Right,
And John Wick throws up arm bars.
He has fucking high level ground
It's
game,
sweet.
dude.
I agree.
I mean,
it's
what
sweet.
about, we haven't even seen it yet, but they showed clips from the upcoming Batman where the Twilight guy is Batman, and he takes like one of the Penguin's minions and just beats him to a pulp, and I'm pretty sure the guy had passed away, and he throws 13 more punches on the guy's face.
Wait, Batman does that? Batman
Yeah, have you seen that?
punches a dead man?
It's apparently extremely dark.
He
Wait.
like sits on this guy's chest, uses his knees to pin his arms back, and you just see like from the camera up, Batman like whoosh, 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 and it goes on endlessly. You're like, oh my god, is this trailer ever going to end? Will he ever stop punching this man?
It's not even the Penguin. It's just some guy.
yeah,
the Penguin hired at the dock.
We can't just put
Wait,
psychopathy.
the guy didn't even know. He thought he was just there to like get a check. Now Batman's punching him into an oblivion.
Yeah. Like this guy was long dead, and 30 seconds later, he's still. "Ah!"
Wait, did that guy do something? Like that guy kill his girlfriend?
We
or
don't know the
something?
context.
No, he was just at a restaurant. He's like, fuck that guy.
He just said Batman's a bitch.
No, I'm sure he was a bad guy, but you can't. Are
you looking at my shit?
Psychopathy doesn't put him any higher in this
What's
list.
the fucking your buddy Mark McGrath? The kid said.
Oh, but what did he say? Sugar gay to him?
Sugar, did he say to Batman, "Sugar gay"? Batman just put him on the ground in front of TMZ. Who said that? I got your sugar gay right here.
You can't. The fact that he's a psychopath doesn't.
McGrath blew it, man.
Put him any
Should have
higher.
punched that kid into a bloody pulp.
That'd be the best.
That would have been
in
huge.
Batman voice. In Batman voice.
What'd you say?
I'll show you sugar gay. Have you heard our first album?
Table for one today, Mr. Wayne. Giving Robin's dick a break.
That's the kind of shit get you whooped bad. That man's got Kevlar gloves on too. He's wrecking shit, dude.
Okay,
there's
well,
like those little blades.
Oh,
on
he
it,
has
too.
blades on his forearms. So
yeah, he's fucked. But okay, then I guess not the Joaquin Phoenix one, but the Heath Ledger Joker then is got to be a formidable fucking foe.
Wait, which Joker?
The Heath Ledger one.
Oh yeah.
He clearly had. It was never stated, but there's subtle clues. Like he has some form of military training, and he gets in fistfights and fucks people up, and ends a guy with a pencil and is fine about it, happy. Oh, dear. I mean, he's a really sick fuck.
Yeah, but John Wick's killed like 7 people with a pencil.
But are either of them as crazy as Martin Riggs from Lethal Weapon?
Oh wow, man, he's crazy. He knows jujitsu.
Yeah, dude. Wait a second.
He fucking knows jujitsu.
I love
dude.
that character.
He might be the first guy to do jujitsu in Hollywood movies.
I love that character, and he does display
Watch
amazing ass kicking.
Yeah.
Just try putting him in a straitjacket.
but,
and see if
uh,
Possible. He gets out every time, Michael.
Diplomatic immunity almost took him.
Yeah,
No,
but
he didn't.
Here's another thing to consider.
What do you mean?
It was like a tough fight, dude.
He fought another guy before that where they had a huge fight, and that guy was Special Forces.
Jason.
And he killed the Special Forces guy, and then Diplomatic Immunity guy took a shot from the top of the boat.
Jason, I've watched John Wick fuck up nightclubs of assassins.
But he's
And
taking
I'm
a shot from a distance from somebody out of shape.
But not like Mel Gibson was one-on-one against Diplomatic Immunity. Granted, he fought someone before and he was tortured, I believe.
No, dude, the
But
one
he,
on
like,
Diplomatic Immunity shot him from the top of the boat, dude. He was down
You're
in
right,
the bottom.
you're right. What
and it
you
was a
wait?
cheap shot from after he beat Special Forces guy.
Okay, what about the one with Jet Li and Chris Rock and shit?
Jet Li was way better than-
lights him up.
But Jet Li was way better than him on the ground, but he ended up figuring out a way to finish him.
Yeah, with
I'm saying
Murtaugh.
John Wick doesn't even break a sweat with Jet Li's character.
That's not true. John Wick has been beaten up by kickboxers more than once. There's been a better kickboxer against John Wick, and then he takes multiple shots, tons of damage, and then all of a sudden he flips it. He's done it. That's almost his go-to. Remember the 2 guys in the glass house that just started fucking whipping him through glass things? Yeah, and then all of a sudden he fucking flicks the glass off his suit. And he's like, all right, motherfuckers. And then he takes his belt out and he figures out a way to fuck those 2 guys up. That's what John Wick does. He goes to another level. Wherever you go, he goes somewhere else and figures out that thing.
Here's where you can't count out Martin Riggs from Lethal Weapon.
Thank you, Kevin, because I am really going to get behind him.
Great candidate. Great candidate. I'm just saying in
He's the best
comparison to
candidate.
these Rambos and John Wicks. Yeah. But go ahead.
If it seems like John Wick is going to win the fight, Martin Riggs will handcuff them together and jump off a building and end it in a draw.
You think I'm crazy? Think I'm crazy? I'm crazy. Pull the trigger. Pull the
You
fucking
can only
trigger.
really
He'll
do
go
that
there.
move once.
Yeah. Okay.
It's still a draw.
Okay, let's keep him in the running. But speaking of running, I have an odd candidate, and I think he's a good one. Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Running Man
I knew it.
is a bad motherfucker with weapons. Without him, you can have flamethrowers. He has nothing. He wins.
He fought a fucking fat guy on roller skates with like neon lights hanging off him. That guy is not
And
a
he
martial
fought
artist.
a guy.
But he shot lightning.
He fought Jesse Ventura with
Jesse Ventura fucking sucks at fighting. He's a fucking fake wrestling piece of
I was
shit.
a Navy
And a veteran.
SEAL. I was a Navy SEAL.
Michael, can you not?
I'm highly trained in hand-to-hand combat. I'd like to see you say
He
that
is
to
a
my face.
fake wrestler.
I'd like to see you say that to my face.
I have said it to his face.
Yeah, he didn't like that.
Yeah. We had our discussion, and guess what? He didn't bark because he knows.
The only reason you're saying that's because you're controlled by the Illuminati.
See, those bits are actually kind of funny with him. I like that part.
okay, but
Debo died.
take into consideration.
See that? I didn't even
Bummer.
know. Did you know I did not know he was in wrestling until today?
Yeah, but
I
not
didn't
very
know that
long.
either.
People posted
was not very
photos.
good. He was not.
It doesn't matter. I didn't know that. I just thought he was in Friday.
He's a terrifying looking man. If you ever,
Yeah.
he was.
I used to see him at Supercrosses in the last like 10 years because Monster Energy hired him to be a guy at Supercross. So he was always around then. And I noticed then the walk that he had was not good.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, he is fucked up. It actually reminded me, it's funny because the photo I saw of him being a wrestler was him facing off in front of Hulk Hogan. And that too, when I met Hulk Hogan at the Hard Rock 10 years ago, that walk was, I was like, oh shit. It was one of those things that, one of the first times I was like, man, wrestlers, they take a lot of shots. You know, I've heard them all talk about it, but nobody has old skateboarders yet that have this story of the last 20, 30 years of my life. I've been smacking myself on the ground and partying. Like I felt like wrestlers and skateboarders might have a similar, like a late adult life where they got a lot of pain.
But I think the difference is, and what's so particularly dangerous for wrestlers is that they do it like 250 days a year.
Yeah, but
for like a decade. You know?
So do skateboarders.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. But every single competition and practice, you don't have a fall. Every single time those guys get in the ring, they fucking do.
Well, you know what? That's the difference. Bucky Lassick? No.
Yeah.
No, every time he doesn't. Jason Ellis? Every time I went to the ramp, even when I was at the highest level, I took diggers, dude. That was just my thing.
It'll be interesting to see. Like,
I was a bigger guy, too. I could also tell being bigger did not help you being good at skateboarding.
Not just skateboarders, but extreme sports in general. It'll be interesting to see.
All those guys will be... all my guys, the Degans and dude, Dave Mirra, in my opinion, that's hitting your head.
Yeah.
Like, Dave got knocked out a lot and then got into boxing.
You can't.
And had apparently sparring sessions with his friends on the regular, which was the worst sparring sessions, where every single person involved has no background in professional boxing. So every shot is as hard as possible. And the person that's facing it doesn't know how to get out of the way. So it's a guaranteed, 20 to 100 shots every time you spar.
And I knew Dave way less than probably any one of you guys. But what I did know of him from the 2 times I had to talk to him.
He's obsessed.
The most committed and insane athlete I'd ever met. He's like, I'm going to be the greatest fucking BMX guy. He, on a dime, he's like, I'm going to win Ironmans. I'm not going to do an Ironman.
Yeah.
I'm winning. Then he got into boxing with Ellsmith. He's like, I'm going to run 8 miles on my toes.
Yeah.
And
no, I'm
he
really
was
sore
so
today because
fucking extreme.
I remember you said something about being on the balls of my feet, so I ran for 17 miles on the balls of my feet yesterday, and they're killing me. I remember just looking at him going, you're fucking crazy. Because he had that look where it was like, I did good, right? And I'm like, what's wrong with you, dude?
What should I do next?
He couldn't tell my face going,
yeah.
I was like, you should probably slow down. That's probably not a good idea. And then I said, hey, Justin, you should probably tell Dave, calm down. Just told me he ran for 17 miles on the balls of his feet to not be flat-footed. And then Justin laughed. And Dave looked at both of us like, so tomorrow, 3 miles? No miles. No, stop running on the balls of your feet. Stop doing that. Yeah. You crazy.
Yeah.
He's
I
crazy.
hate to say this, but what about Vin Diesel and Triple X?
Why do you should hate to say it?
I'm not sticking up for the movie.
It's such a dumb fucking thing to say.
He's so capable of fucking shit up, though.
Is he? He's got the same overhand block. He usually uses like a wrench to fight. Like he has no moves, dude.
But he's unkillable.
How is he unkillable?
They were torturing him, and he like flipped his legs up and escaped and shit.
Wait, which Vin Diesel?
Triple X. Horrible movie, unwatchably bad.
How dare you? I was in it. It was a great movie.
Your part was great, just like Paul Blart.
He went down a fucking handrail on a serving tray. I remember that.
I believe he picks off a guy in midair on a boat with a rocket launcher. Like he's impossibly good at everything.
So it just doesn't show any.
Yeah.
And this is the difference between all of these guys, and this is why these other guys that I'm vouching for deserve the credit. This is Hollywood, this is acting, but when it comes down to your fighting scenes, you have not put in any time on how to really defend yourself. So they give you the Hollywood fights. When you have Hollywood fisticuffs and you don't know shit, it shows. Look at John Wick.
Yeah.
Like John Wick, Keanu Reeves went through some fucking serious shit to the point where he could hold himself against people. He's trained enough to where I can't pick. I mean, that's not true. I have watched it several times, so I can pick little things where they've obviously, he's practiced it like several times and the guy's trying to help it work out for him. But it's still so intricate. I mean, to know to squeeze your legs in when you're in the armbar, or all the little things where his technique it's tight. It's not sloppy.
He's a great athlete too. Like clearly, Keanu Reeves is.
Which is crazy because he's not as fit as Vin Diesel's a jacked guy.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves is a very normal looking guy. Doesn't take his shirt off because he's kind of fat.
Everything you said about Vin Diesel and Triple X, you could also say about Snake Plissken in the Escape From movies.
Snake Plissken's fucking badass.
I don't think he wins
Snake
this
Plissken would
competition.
beat the shit out of Vin Diesel.
You think so?
In Fast and Furious, fuck yeah.
I'm a Snake guy.
Me too.
Snake Plissken's fucking
He's definitely the best
sweet.
surfer in this competition.
Oh,
does surf out of a
all of a
tidal
sudden,
wave.
after they fight, they go to a pro surf contest? Yeah, Snake's up there, big time.
Well, then what about Bodhi from Point Break?
Not as formidable on land.
Not as formidable, but he skydives and does crazy shit all the time.
Not
and
that
and
well
he's
trained.
fucking amazing wheel kicks Flea.
Not that bad at weapons, but he only has like a couple of handguns, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's a dangerous addiction to adrenaline would get in the way. You never know when he's going to run
Right.
away from the fight. And
Yeah,
jump off.
he might make a couple of bad choices here and there just for adrenaline's sake. Good point, Michael.
Okay, if we're valuing hand-to-hand combat, Roadhouse Patrick Swayze.
I mean, pulling someone's neck out.
Come on now.
I just want to know, does he have to get really riled up to do that, or can he just walk around pulling people's jugulars out? Because if he could do that with every time he threw a shot, well then
I'm
that's
just
pretty
saying,
tough.
If he can goad Rambo into like disrespecting a waitress or something.
Right. At first, if Rambo's like, "Hey, I want to fight," and he's like, "Man, that's not really my style. I'm kind of trying to enjoy a beverage with my girlfriend over here." And then Rambo goes, "Your girlfriend looks like an ugly bitch." Then that is straight away because I don't think Rambo has the parry. I don't think he has a jugular parry. Who expects a jugular parry? Who's ready to parry a Roadhouse?
I mean, even if
You're like, hey, your chick is a pig. You don't go immediately parry.
Yeah.
You go, what do you got to say about that? And it's too late.
Or if even if
he
he
took your fucking Adam's apple out.
that movie in real life. All I do want to do is watch that as Stallone going, but your girlfriend's a bitch. Patrick Swayze like, okay. Back in.
He doesn't even get out of the seat. He does it from a sitting position. So Rambo has no idea it's coming.
But even if Rambo flinches and like he can't parry it, but even if he flinches, he's still gonna grab his cheek. Like he'll
Dude.
miss and rip his cheek off.
Dude, if your hand can pull your Adam's apple out bare, no knives, that thing is lasered on. Like, if you move, I'm still landing on your Adam's apple.
Ooh.
This is a goddamn cobra hand. I have officially adopted a live cobra in my arm, and it goes, and you lost your fucking, that's it. You're done.
I got a wild card here. And at first you're probably all going to go, shut the fuck up. But really think about how capable he is because of his intellect, what he was able to pull off, and how he would probably trick all the other people. Hannibal Lecter.
Oh.
You can't count him out in any. He was in a straight jacket.
Okay. Whoa. Hang on a minute, because I'm trying to think. So he asked Rambo to dinner?
You know, it'd be great
'Cause
if we actually got to know each other before we fight tomorrow. You know,
No.
He makes Rambo invite him to dinner.
How does he do that?
Because he's that fucking...
Rambo doesn't even cook. Rambo doesn't even eat.
Rambo
he has
can
a
live in
problem
hell.
with that.
Rambo-
You're a Philistine. You don't even know how to take care of your own food. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to make you some lamb chops and a nice Chianti.
Okay, let's
And then
say
fucking boom.
Okay, let's
brain
say
off.
okay, Rambo knows that he's gonna fight
Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
But goes to his house for dinner the night before
Yes.
because Hannibal explains it in a way that
He can't say no.
He
And he
can't
breaks
say
out
no.
the poppers.
and so Rambo, obviously knowing he's Hannibal Lecter,
Sure.
would be a little worried about the wine, right? Not even sure if Rambo drinks wine.
Rambo don't drink.
So he would have a water at dinner.
He would have a whey protein shake waiting for Rambo. And he'd be like, I made you a special shake because I know.
I don't
Would
know,
Rambo
man.
drink a special shake from Hannibal Lecter?
That's a good question.
Here's what I think.
It's
I
not a
mean,
good
you guys-
question.
Rambo's no dummy. That's
Well,
He wouldn't.
But Hannibal Lecter's a genius.
He's a
You guys-
literal genius.
You guys might get pissed off at me for saying this, but Rambo might be too stupid to fall for his head games.
Oh, I get that.
Like,
Yeah, Rambo
No,
is-
because he fucks up that warden in the first one, and that warden's an asshole, dipshit. There's no way he could survive on the land like Rambo. That warden was a complete douchebag piece of shit, and he still figured out a way to trick that fucker.
For you to say that Rambo is as intelligent as Hannibal Lecter,
I didn't say that. I said he's not dumb.
Okay, look, Hannibal Lecter is smarter, but Hannibal Lecter is a fat 80-year-old dude.
Right.
So
Fair.
the only thing that can work here is I'm drugging you.
Yeah.
So
Not
how do
necessarily
you
true.
drug Rambo?
He manipulates the entire FBI and another serial killer.
Yeah,
he completely fucks him up from a cell.
But none of them are having a death match tomorrow morning.
But I'm saying if they were to, I'm guaranteeing you that Hannibal Lecter would figure out some fucking loophole.
Here's
to
where I'll
exploit.
give you one. Could Hannibal Lecter poison Rambo and kill him and make him eat his own brains? Yes.
Yes.
If you say that they're going to duel in the near future, that's off the list. Rambo's not going to dinner no matter what. He's fighting you in the next year, and he knows that I'm not going to fucking Louis J. Gomez's house. I'm not taking a shake from Louis. I'm not taking a shake now or like let alone the day before the fight. And Rambo's just as dumb as me. So I say that Hannibal is not on the list, dude.
Okay.
There's only one more person to consider. We've talked about these movies earlier in this conversation. Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise's character from Mission Impossible.
Yeah. I reckon, what's that stupid movie I watched that he does, Katie? John something?
John Reacher?
Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher.
Okay.
Shit movie.
Fuck you, man. I love Jack Reacher.
Them's fighting words.
It's so stupid. I like it. I don't know. Jack Reacher, Mission Impossible guy. They're both so similar. But I guess Mission Impossible guy does do things that are impossible.
Wrecks people and trained assassins. He's not fighting Joe Schmo. He's fighting trained assassins and he fucks them all up.
He does jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. It's a tough one. That's a good one.
John Wick beats him, though.
Yeah. So in the end, we're looking at some 1, 2, 3 combination of Rambo, John Wick, and Kevin McCallister.
What about
who's Kevin McCallister?
What about
again?
Silent
Home
Bob?
Alone?
What the fuck is wrong?
Kevin
with
Smith's character from any of the Mall Rats and Jay and Silent Bob. I mean, obviously he's gonna.
Well, it's been a great show, guys. We've already run a bit long.
Yeah, fair enough. What the fuck, dude?
God, trying to think of like the least.
It's been mostly.
What
nice
about
talking to
Shirley
you guys.
Temple?
Is there even a female to consider? I'm not trying to be a dick. Is
Sarah
there?
Connor,
Sarah Connor's good one.
Ripley from the
Gina
Alien
Carano.
movies.
Gina Carano's character in that movie. She serves.
What about when she's a wolf lady? Her dad's a wolf man or whatever. You seen that one? Where she gets chased into the mountains and she meets, who's the guy that is in Jaws?
Richard
that
Dreyfuss.
Doesn't come back for the next one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard Dreyfuss is a wolf man. He lives in the woods and she goes up there to meet her father. They don't really talk anymore. And he helps her because there's a bunch of people trying to kill her. And then they hunt these other people together or something.
Yeah.
So she knows all the MMA and she's Gina Carano in the movie.
What about Charlize Theron in that one movie? Because I know a lot of it was probably stunt women, but
Atomic
there
Blonde?
is amazing grappling and striking in that. She
Gina
fought.
Carano versus...
No. I'm saying these characters. If they were real, I'm just saying because what that woman did in that Atomic Blonde movie, she fucks people up. I mean, really serves lots of dudes, guns, weapons, and hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, but when you watch it, you see her technique. It's pretty sloppy.
It's different, but
Gina Carano's technique.
Yeah. Sure.
yeah.
The Bride in the Kill Bill movies.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what's her name?
The actress?
Yeah.
Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman.
Yeah, that's she's pretty good, but she's not that good without that sword.
what about Xander Troy from Face Off?
Ooh. He was crazy, man.
Nuts.
He was fucking crazy.
Pastor Troy.
Pastor. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, wait. It was,
Was
it
his
was
brother
like
Xander?
Archer?
Or someone was Xander.
I'm sure there was a Xander.
Castor Troy.
Castor.
There we go.
Troy.
That's
Yes.
what it
Thank
was.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, Castor Troy was fucking crazy, and he had matching guns, and he took mad drugs before he killed people. That guy partied.
Killed
man.
a shitload of people.
I mean, at one point he was like, "Fucking cut my face off."
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking sporadic. Put that cop's face on my face.
He's pretty horny, though. You could distract him with pussy easily.
Yeah, that's right. He wanted to fuck everybody.
Yeah, he's always like seductively eating peaches and like grabbing church girls' asses.
Yeah, I could relate
He's
to that.
inappropriate. He's inappropriate. Can you not, dude?
But if there's doves flying by in slow motion, I don't like your chances. That's
Oh, yeah.
his type
Oh,
of
that's
shine.
bad.
fucked.
Yeah.
He's jumping sideways and shooting.
Again, I hate to say it, but it's a legitimate entry. Affleck and the Accountant. That dude's nuts.
I seriously. Are
Dude,
we done?
no.
I'm serious.
Dude, I'm
you are
saying,
seriously done. Like
high
you're-
level martial arts training for a long time, and he
seriously
had some type of like high level military
You
training.
could distract him with a puzzle and then you kill him.
Mike, I
That's
think
true.
I think you need a snack.
Yeah, somebody get this guy a protein shake. He's had enough.
You've watched
Can we
the
get
Have you
sponsored by
watched the
P5
Accountant
already?
Have
Right
you watched
enough.
the Accountant?
Yes.
Okay.
I've watched The Accountant.
And
with Ben
you're going to
Affleck.
realistically take into consideration what that not take away Affleck. Don't say
You
like
can't do that.
No, I'm saying that person. The person he played
in that movie. Yeah.
Okay, he was fucking really, really, really badass.
Better than John Wick.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
We've
What
only
moves
had
did
one
he-
accountant.
What movie did
He
he?
kicked the guy's head off. The fucking FBI lady said it. She said, "Yeah, he." And then the fucking guy had his head exploded, and he's like, what weapon did he use?" He's like, "He kicked him." And I'm like, "Well, shit." And there's a scene with him sharpening up his fucking shins, and his dad made him train with like some wushu master since he was like 6, getting the fuck beat out of him, and he has super high level fucking weapon shit where he shot Tate Fletcher from like 9 fucking football fields away,
I haven't seen it.
and he choked Tate Fletcher.
All right, maybe.
I'm just saying.
Wait,
Maybe.
he went up to his dead body and choked him?
No, he shot Tate Fletcher's homeboy, but then which made me so mad because we know Tate, and I'm watching a movie where Ben Affleck arm drags Tate and then puts a fucking arm around him and chokes him, and I'm just like, this is so stupid.
I know. I just watched The Mandalorian beat up Tate Fletcher again the other day. It's always
Man,
fun to
Tate's
watch.
having a bad run.
Yeah. Tate is, with all due respect to Tate, he's not winning this competition.
No, he's almost a guaranteed murder. For
No, he's
sure.
like one of the first guys all of these people have killed.
He shows up like where what's his name? Danny Bonaducci brings pieces of wood to break before he fights you. Like people show up with Tate and they kill him to show you what's going to happen to you. Do we have time for Droopy or do we have to stop?
No, I think we got to go. We're already over time.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening to our second episode of the Jason Ellis Show. Okay, I can't wait to hear what everybody thinks. Don't die.